except for now I'm getting something. Okay, so we're all straight live, are we?
Yep.
There is no coming back from an ad break.
So good afternoon and welcome to Blacktown International Sports Park. It's the final hit out of the 2013 pre-season competition, and we're here at Blacktown for the GWS Giants taking on St Kilda in what will be their final preparation before the big stuff starts. Joining me up here in the commentary box, we've got Lee Mayrick, and a special guest joining us as well, Russell Barwick, who'll be calling the game as well with us up today. So, boys, beautiful day out here at Blacktown. How do you see it going?
Well, the Giants, it's a very important game for the Giants. Unfortunately, a loss to Essendon last week in Canberra, so a final hit out before round one. The Battle of the Bridge only a fortnight away now, Craig, so a very important match. And for the Saints, they come up here for their final hit out before taking on Gold Coast in round one. And for the Saints, they just can't avoid the heat. It'd be close to 30 degrees out here at Blacktown International Sports Park today. Perfect conditions, but they've had heat everywhere they've played in the NAB Cup so far. So another hot one for both teams today.
I think for the Giants, really important that they establish themselves. Their performance last week, I thought, was pretty average against Essendon. The game was gone very early in the piece. Sure, there was a few changes. There'd been a few players brought into this side, but I think the expectation is, certainly from a Sydney perspective, that the novelty's over now. You've got to earn your place. You've got to make sure that you're at least competitive. We're not expecting them to, be top 8, be top 10, but be competitive for a lot longer in games, and by that I mean really start out well and not be giving sides 7 or 8 goals start at quarter time, and that's really important. Having said that, for St Kilda, it's important for them to do what Essendon did last week and really establish their authority very early in the piece. And you look at the big names of St Kilda, and look, yeah, sure, they'll rotate the teams fairly frequently. Rewalt's out there, Milne's out there, Lenny Hayes is there, Montagna, these sorts of guys, plenty of experience, and they'll be reinforcing this to the younger players within the Saints lineup that they must get out there and establish themselves as the premier side here this afternoon. Yeah,
you're right, Russ. We saw the Giants down there in Wagga and just dropped the game late in the game at 2 Brisbane Lions, and the same thing happened out here against Carlton. Just weren't able to hold on and get themselves over the line. They lost that game by 2 points, and the one to Brisbane by I think it was 3 points. So yeah, running the game is certainly a priority for the Giants, and we'll hope to see them doing a little bit more of that today. Hot conditions,
which will suit them. And some of these young guys, a real chance to, this is 2 weeks before the start of the season. You've got the Battle of the Bridge. Kevin Cheaty's going to be saying, right, hands up, who wants to play senior footy for the Giants? And it's a real opportunity for some of these young guys, particularly Plowman and the second-year syndrome, guys like Hoskin Elliott, Toby Green, Dylan Shield, Canelio, Hampton. All of these guys have a real opportunity to make themselves a name in AFL football. Last year, I think a lot of it was dedicated to a couple of names. One of those is now gone in Israel Folau, and these young guys can be the next wave of superstars in footy here in Sydney.
Very true, Russ, and the toss of the coin has been won. Callum Ward has won it for the Giants, and they'll kick to the southern end here at Blacktown International Sports Park, so that's to the right of screen. We'll just have a quick look at both benches as the players from the Giants head to the interchange. Hampton, Canelio, Shield, Adams, Reid, Plowman and Brogan will start on the bench for the Giants, and for the Saints, Hickey, Jones, Lenny Hayes, that man, Lee, Montagna, Blake and Murdoch will start on the bench for the Saints.
Have we got an end? I know Southern and Northern, but the SCG, we've got the Randwick and the Paddington end. Have we found an end here?
We colloquially call the right of screen, that would be the Eastern Road end, but more importantly, on the left-hand side of screen is Snake Gully.
Snake Gully, yes, okay. The Snake Gully end, I like that. And especially it's named because of snakes and gullies. Yes. Yes,
I wouldn't go down there barefoot, Russ. That's all I'm saying. So just about to get underway. As we said, beautiful conditions, and you would have noticed with Lee calling out the benches there, 8 on the bench for both sides at the moment. So they'll be playing plenty of rotations. A little allowance that the AFL's given both sides for today's game. No rotation restrictions, and we're playing full AFL rules, so there'll be no super goals today, unfortunately. Just the final hit out, ready for the boys to get ready for round one.
Unfortunately, it's a silly rule. I think it's fortunately they're not playing super goals.
Adds a little bit of special moments to the game.
Good to see Jonathan Giles back in there as the starting ruckman. Missed last week the trip to Canberra, so he's in the middle for the Giants alongside Callum Ward, Toby Green and Adam Treloar. So it's going to be a fantastic afternoon here at Blacktown International Sports Park.
Umpires all set to bounce the ball. In the centre for the Giants and Giles, and of course McAvoy for the Saints. Nobody really gets first purchase on it. First the ball, Del Santo gets the first kick, albeit off the right foot. Inside 50 for the Saints, mark taken. And St Kilda already into attack. And this time for St Kilda it's Ahmed Saad. Will kick from about, well, right on the 50-metre arc as we welcome in one of the injured brigade. Ahmed Saad's gone back to the southern end. He's almost gone back to the 10-metre box at his own end of the ground, but he'll kick right on 50 metres, and it's a very deliberate 40-step introduction to this first kick. I think we should call time on. This is outrageous. But anyway, after all of that, he has a long kick at goal, drifting off to the right, and a minor score, the opening score of the afternoon. St Kilda get the first points, under a minute gone. St Kilda won, GWS yet to score.
As you mentioned, Russ, one of the injured Giants joining us in the box. Dom Tyson out with a knee injury at the moment, but good enough to join us on Giants TV. Dom, welcome up to the commentary.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for having me. It should be a good game.
It should be a good game, Dom, and very warm out there as we see the Giants try to clear through Adam Kennedy, and he sends it out wide to Bug. Cameron, the target on centre wing. Bug can follow up, does very well, gets tackled, probably without the ball. The umpire says play on. Roberton was. In fact, he's found a free kick, the umpire. It'll go the way of St Kilda. Play on the call. Quickly, the Saints through Jack Stevens. Looks towards Saad. The punch came, though, this time from Whitfield for the Giants. Chance for them to clear, and they do so very, very nicely.
Goes to the far side, just in front of the big screen, and the Giants take a steadying mark. Short kick outside the defensive 50, and Sam Frost takes a mark for the Giants. Looks at his options, goes back to inside. Another mark. The Giants running out of defence now, trying to set up a play. Phil Davis receives the handball. Still unsure where to go. A short kick and great mark. Oh, that could be 50 there for Lockie Whitfield. The #1 draft pick from last year's draft gives off the hand to Bug. Bug kicks long down the middle of the ground. The Giants have found a bit of space. The first time the Giants go inside 50. Devon Smith picks it up. The Saints gather it. A handball out, and Jack Stevens for the Saints has it to McAvoy, the big ruckman, who shimmies two ways. John Patton for the Giants gathers it across to Cameron, and he's goal. The first goal of the game to the Giants through Jeremy Cameron. Some fantastic forward defensive pressure from the Giants. Dom Tyson, your teammates, very well done there by them.
Yeah, those two boys just combining very well up forward, so hopefully there's plenty more of that to come.
And that's what you want to see early in a game. Lots of pressure, it was a bit scrappy, but at the end of the day, you keep pushing them backwards, and eventually there's a turnover, and you saw what happened. It was a 3-on-1, and Cameron kicked an easy goal in the end.
Yeah, as you say, Russ, that's that forward pressure, so it's sort of showing that even the big blokes are getting there and getting dirty and tackling, so rewarded with a goal for Jeremy. Great start.
While we've got a bit of time, how hot is it? I mean, it's quite warm up here. It seems very warm out there, not a cloud, or not too many clouds in the sky.
Yeah, I was just at the Twos game earlier, and the boys are cramping up towards the end of that game, so that was very hot out there even just an hour or two ago.
And how'd the boys go in the NAFL?
Yeah, great result though. They beat Sydney Uni comfortably, so.
I'll make myself unavailable if anyone should get cramp in this game then, because I'll get cramp walking down the stairs. Giants TV, and the Giants have got the first goal of the afternoon. One straight as Giles gets a tap down, finds Ward, missed the ball. Chance for a couple of teammates here. Again, Green wheels around on the right foot, hits towards Cameron. Nearly takes a one-on-one, then probably gets taken without the ball, but the umpire says play on. Chance for Scully, drills it in towards full forward, but the mark is intercepted, and intercepted well by Jaron Geary. He goes wide, and St Kilda can clear, although the delivery towards Rewalt is pretty scrappy. Manages to trap the ball, finds a teammate by hand. This time it's Armitage, swings on that trusty left boot. Well, what's happened there? There's a player on his own just outside 50. Here's a chance for the Saints towards Milne. He'll probably get a free kick. Umpire says no, but they play on quickly. Again for St Kilda. Chance for Millera. Kicks the goal off the left foot. And whilst you've got good positive remarks about the defensive pressure in the attacking zone for GWS. It's got to be done at the other end of the ground as well.
Yeah, correct. They've got a lot of dangerous forwards, Saints, so that was definitely one of our focuses heading in. The likes of Malera, Dennis Lane, and obviously Milne, who's kicked a lot of goals in his career, so we've got to be pretty tight on them down back.
A big cheer from the crowd just then as the St Kilda champion Lenny Hayes runs onto the ground for the first time today. Just looking at the matchups, big job for Stephen Gillum, a first summer here at the Giants on Nick Rewalt. He was for a while there. Looks like him and Phil Davis sharing that job. Yeah. Big job for those guys.
Definitely, they'll probably look to rotate off Rewalt. Obviously, got a great running capacity, so they'll share that around.
Back in the middle we go. Umpire bounces it down, and again St Kilda go forward, this time through Stephen, who's had plenty of the footy early doors, backing back into the pack. One of the St Kilda guys, I think it was Jones, gives it off quickly. Ball looks in dispute in the middle of the ground, just inside the St Kilda 50-metre arc. The umpire says he'll take it and have a ball up. About 30 metres out, St Kilda in front by a point. Been very competitive. And again, the umpire now with a new rule of throwing it up. Chance for the Giants to clear. They do so via hand very well. This time comes wide. Chance for Shield. Takes a chest mark. Now he drops it in the end. St Kilda can quickly repel through Lenny Hayes. There's a shot on goal. Misses to the left. Should have been swallowed, I thought, that chest mark.
Definitely.
But the result was a minor score. It's now 1-2-8 the Saints. Giants one straight goal.
Maybe a few early nerves there from Dylan Shield, but he'll be sure to get back on the horse very shortly. As the Giants go straight down the middle and fly, and Sam Reid on the 50-metre line. He plays on quickly, goes towards the close wing. Jeremy Cameron, a low-down ball against Robinson. That spills out. McAvoy, his handball's taken by Jeremy Cameron for the Giants. And Reid gets another touch, kicks over the top of Liam Sumner's head. He gets it back on it with a second effort, and he's been called for a trip. Wow. Giants free kick there to Liam Sumner. He's about 70 metres out from the Giants' goal. And he looks to kick long.
To Patton down here.
Patton, he's the target, but McAvoy's got back.
1-on-3 wasn't real, or 3-on-1 wasn't real smart.
And the Saints look to repel through the close wing. The Giants have spread well. Jonathan Giles placed himself well there, and the Saints kick finds the boundary line.
A couple of the deliveries just looked to be a little panicky. The first option, I think Tom Scully was on his own. They went over his head, and the kick back into the centre there to Sumner wasn't really the right option either, I wouldn't have thought.
The Saints are looking to get numbers back as well, which probably makes those kicks a little bit harder.
Giles in the ruck against McAvoy. He gets a tap down to his housemate Callum Ward, but then gets back on it with a second effort. He's wrapped up by Jack Stevens. The ball's still trapped in there. Good luck getting that one out. Jack Stevens loves the hard ball, goes in for it again for the Saints.
Oh, umpire's done
and the umpire said it's in the back. So against Sam Reid there, and Jack Stevens slowly gets to his feet.
Stevens, centre wing. Margin still 2 points in favour of the Saints. We've played 7.5 minutes opening term here of the NAB Cup. Final game for both teams ahead of the opening round of the season next week. St Kilda. Spot up Jones in the middle of the ground. Got a paddock. Decides to go short to the running Rewalt. Hits him on the chest. Long way out. Gives it quickly back to Montagna, who drives it long. Target up forward. Takes the mark. And I'm not sure who that was. Was it Bo Meister?
Formerly Bo Wilkes.
Yeah.
Changed his name over the summer. Chose to...
Didn't get that email.
Went with his mother's maiden name over summer. So formerly West Coast player.
I think he's been in pretty good form over the pre-season as well.
Well, he's lining up. 45-degree angle, about 40 metres out. And a far quicker approach on goal than his predecessor in young Ahmed Saad, but the same result. In fact, he's hooked it poorly to the left. Giants a chance now to clear, and they do so well through Gillum. In fact, they don't do so well. He went short, and the ball was dropped, and we find ourselves with a boundary throw-in adjacent to the right point post. Snake Gully end of the ground. Giants trail by 2, but certainly it's very willing here. 8 minutes gone, and lots of hard stuff at the moment in these very testing conditions. Umpire throws it in. Ball in dispute. Plenty of players around it. Chance for Saints. There's Meister again. Off hands. Finishes up, but the umpire... No, it finishes up in the hands, I think, of Lee Montagna. And he's kicked the goal out of pretty much nothing. And the Saints pretty happy with that as McAvoy goes for a rest. Giles will follow him off the field, and Brogan will come on for the Giants. And not sure who will go into the ruck for the Saints, but we'll find out very, very shortly. So the margin now back out to 8 points. 2-2-14. Goals for the Saints to Montagna and Malera. Cameron's kicked the lone goal for the Giants.
Dom, you've become very popular during the off-season with your pocket profiles on the Giants website. How have you been finding that while you're coming back from the knee injury?
Yeah, it's going well. Sort of just gives you something to do to fill in the time during the rehab. So, yeah, sort of just stay involved as much as I can.
Back in the middle. Taken there by Brogan with a two-hand slap. The Saints can't clear it through Gilbert.
Very good pressure again by the Giants forwards.
Pushing the back? No. Yeah, against
Umpires found a free
Lenny
kick.
Hayes will get that. Pushing the back.
So Lenny Hayes, the Saints reigning Trevor Barker medalist, kicks to the far side, and he's found a teammate who will play on quickly. That's Fisher, who goes out again. Taylor Adams just falls short as the Saints look to run on here. They go inside forward 50 with Rewalt the target, but the Giants get numbers to the ground well. Spills out. Saints shock. Kick to the top of the goal square, and it looks like a free kick to free kick to the Giants there.
Yeah.
And Curtly Hampton will run it out of defence.
Hampton gets a couple of teammates in support. The Giants can do something. They might have overcooked this. Got some trouble here. Finishes up with Patton. He drops it. Pressure good from the Saints. Hayes. He turns it over quickly, though. Probably best to do that. Kick the ball and hope for the best at the moment. The ball will finish out of bounds as Fisher goes across the line. He's attended by Devon Smith, but maybe one too many there, Dom, in the middle.
Yeah, definitely trying to take the game on well, which is a positive, but yeah, probably just one too many handballs there at the end.
A couple of guys up forward just need to make a little bit of space rather than just run to the pack as Brogan gets front position. Adams for the Giants. Quickly off to Canelio. He does very well. A couple of interesting haircuts within the Giants lineup. Haven't seen them in the off-season, but first prize goes to Moore, who's just disgraceful with that haircut. I'm sorry.
We've got young Cal Ward's the residential hairdresser, so you can bring that up with him.
Pat Rafter did it in the 80s, mate. It didn't work for Pat, and it's not going to work for young Moore either, Timmy Moore. As the ball gets thrown in, chance now for Canelio. He's tackled very quickly by Stevens. Oh, here's a chance for the Giants. Oh, smother was good from Robertson off the kick from Devon Smith. He gets a second bite at the cherry, but well done St Kilda, well done Robertson. And in the end, helped out by his teammate in Farron Ray, and will have a boundary throw in 50 metres out from the Giants' goal. They trail by 8 points, and we've played 12 minutes of the first quarter.
Brogan and McAvoy in the ruck again on the Giants, attacking 50. Handball out for the Giants, and Canelio gets a quick snap kick inside, spilt by Del Santo, right deep in the pocket. Handball over the head, gives Toby Green a chance. He shrugs one tackle, that could be in the back for the Giants.
Yes,
and a late call by the umpire, but he pays it towards Toby Green. So the chance, I think
it was there. It was there.
Yeah, it was definitely there. Yeah, it was probably the first one was nearly a high tackle, so he got the secondary push in the back.
You know him well, Toby Green. What do you give him chances-wise here? 45-degree angle. He'll kick from about 35 metres.
I think it's time. Hope it's time.
I send you come with me to the tab every time we have a bet on a horse, by the sounds.
But right behind it, Toby Green.
Very deliberate again.
Let's see what he can do. Kicking to the southern end here at Blacktown International Sports Park. It's a beautiful kick. The Giants get their second. They're 2 goals, zip. 12 to the Saints, 2-2-14. We're 13 minutes into the first quarter. And
Dom, is there a good feeling? I mean, obviously very excited leading into the start of the season. We all know that. But what's the general feeling amongst the boys with this second year?
Yeah, it's a tough year, I guess. Sort of backing up after our first year, we've got a little bit more expectations on ourselves. Not necessarily in games to be won, but just competitiveness across 4 quarters. I think we started pretty well. Early in the NAB Cup, probably dropped away a little bit last week against Essendon, so today becomes pretty important for us to put in a good showing. Obviously, Sydney are the reigning premiers who we face round 1, so it'll be a tough game there.
Battle of the Bridge, going to be a big game.
It's going to be a ripper of a game, and in years to come will be one of the more enthralling contests in sport.
McAvoy wins the ruck, knock there for the Saints, but his St Kilda teammates quickly tied up. And the umpire says, I'll have it, and they'll go through it again. A good crowd here at Blacktown International Sports Park to see the Giants go through their final hit out as Gilbert finds some space for the Saints and kicks forward. But Curtly Hampton cuts it off well across half-back, kicks out to Sumner. What can he do? Handballs off to his captain in Callum Ward, who kicks long towards Jeremy Cameron, one out in the forward 50.
Exactly what we spoke about. Yeah. They gave Jeremy Cameron a bit of one-on-one space, and whoever is it looks like Blake that was on Cameron, went forward, giving Cameron the chance to drop back. Deep kick from Callum Ward, and that just gave him a one-on-one.
Yeah, exactly as you say there, Russell. It was probably the quick handball there from Sumner, which created that overlap run, so we could get a one out towards the goal line. So both Jeremy and Johnny very dangerous one-on-one.
Was he shanked it?
He's fluffed that one, yeah, just to the left-hand side.
Maybe we needed you to call that early rather than do the bits and the pieces. Gwilt will kick the ball in. I just had an SMS saying there's an extra man who's put himself in for the worst off-season haircut, and that's Sam Gilbert. Oh, geez. That's just disgraceful. And speaking of which, he's got the ball just outside 50. Shorts up McAvoy and finds him with a good pass, and the big boys will be finding it very tough out here. McAvoy went for a short pass, nearly was intercepted. Comes back to Gwilt. He goes laterally and then decides to hoof it towards Robertson, who should be able to mark. No, doesn't, but the umpire saw a free kick. It's probably there. The offender, who was the offender?
Young Sam Frost.
Sam Frost. It's time Ray onto the left foot. It's a bit of a mongrel punt towards the point of the square. Met very, very well by the Giants. Chance here now. Goes the way of Smith. He had Frost in support. Now he's decided to go long. This one should bounce nicely for Cameron if he can kick it onto the left foot. Hello there, Alessandro Del Piero. Forget about him playing for Sydney FC against the Victory tonight. On the run, Jeremy Cameron has just whacked it with the left boot and has drilled it through the goals for the Giants' third, and they take a 5-point lead. 16 minutes gone in a very hot afternoon here as Sam Gilbert trundles off ever so slowly and is replaced pretty quickly by Sam Fisher.
He's one of those players, isn't he, Dom? Jeremy Cameron, he can just pull something out of nothing.
Definitely does the freaky things very often. So I guess for us, that's just pretty stock standard to see that type of play from Jez.
His talents extend beyond the footy field, don't they?
He's very good at golf, Jeremy, and he always seems to have that weird ability to just shoot something in the hoop, or when you're walking past, throw something so accurately. So just does the freaky things. Back
in the middle, Brogan will go up against McAvoy again. Comes down, and Brogan gets a second chance. It's like Taylor Adams gets a quick kick out of the middle. Scully looks to pounce on it on the half-forward flank for the Giants. A quick kick inside 50. Jeremy Cameron's there again. He gets a lucky bounce. Sumner, the speedster in the forward 50, is knocked off it by Blake, and the Saints can clear here.
Good pressure again, yeah.
Cameron goes back for the mark. 2-on-1 for the Giants, but he gets an unlucky bounce. Farron Ray gets a handball away as the Saints continue to try and clear. Callum Ward, fantastic pressure.
Great
hit. The ball goes out of bounds.
And I'll give the umpires a rap there, because he could have easily given one of those soft free kicks, but everyone was going at the footy, and I think he made the right call there.
It's great to see that one go. It was everyone eyes for the footy.
Yeah. Boundary umpire, 60 metres out from the Giants' goal, still 5 points clear. Good start to the Giants, plenty of pressure. Farron Ray off the left foot towards Milne, getting pressure from Hampton. He won't like that at all, Stevie Milne. Tom Scully, well done. Centres the ball, finds a teammate, this time for the Giants, Treloar. He does as well, wants to get it going, and that time it was bugged. Took forever to kick the ball, and in the end, the kick wasn't great. And Blake will mark for St Kilda. Decides to repel, going the way of Sipos, who's got a paddock and has got some pace. One bounce, two bounce. Whitfield chases and then gets him right in the end. Rewald will get a free kick, should have got a free kick. Sard with the ball, back to Sipos, has a shot on goal from 30 out, misses to the right. Teammates everywhere yelling, what about me? Terry Malera, one of those. And I like the job that Hampton's doing on Milne, obviously a target.
Yeah, so far so good for Kirtley. I think Milne kicked about 6 against us last year, so it could have even been more, so towards the end of last year. So good matchup for Kirtley, good opportunity.
Kicked about 6 on everyone as they go wide with the kick in. And McAvoy spoils over the top of Giles. And we'll have a boundary throw in front of the St Kilda interchange bench where the fans are working overtime.
Looks like Giles back in the middle against McAvoy once again. Both men doing a mountain of work as it goes down. Hayes for the Saints gets first hands on it. Devon Smith, he's been busy this quarter for the Giants. It spills out. Looks like one of the young Saints gets it to kick inside 50. One-on-one is Meister and looks like Davis. And the ball is rushed through.
Did very well, Phil, on that occasion.
big job last year, wasn't it, for Phil Davis? He had the #1 forward every week. Good to see some backup for him this year.
I think he held his own in some pretty good matchups last year. So obviously when a side has a lot of inside 50s against, he's under the pump. So he did very well.
He'll enjoy Gillum this year, I think.
We even drafted young Aiden Core, who's playing today. Lockie Plowman, who might come on in the second half. So we've got a bit more support in the back area.
They want to get rid of it a bit better than what they just did then, because it was a quick turnover, but Davis marks in defence, a strong mark in front of Sipos. Umpire calls him to play on. 3 points the margin here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Not long to go in the first quarter as the Giants attempt to clear, but the ball is smothered on the far side of the ground, and we'll have a boundary throw in, and the players look to be doing it very tough at the moment. Quite oppressive conditions.
Get your thoughts on Liam Sumner. Only 2 games last season. He's had a huge pre-season. Looks to have a bigger role this year. Yeah,
been very impressed over the summer with Liam. He came off a navicular injury last year, which is one of those ones you've got to be very cautious with. But yeah, he's moved forward and he's very good in applying that defensive pressure, something very important to every side.
Smith gets the ball from the boundary throw in and clears, does well, but it's turned over and the Saints can send it back. They do so via Blake, who goes wide. Sard chips short to Rewalt. The kick is not good, but Rewalt does very, very well. And Phil gives him a 1-2. Now, if you were fair income umpire, you'd probably reverse that. But Davis did hit him on impact. And the worst problem was that Rewalt went cannoning into the ground. And Nick's a protected species in the AFL, so you don't like to upset guys like Nick. And it's the best 50 I've seen for a while as well. Just
straightened him up, I think.
He straightened him up, and he's given him about 75, I think. I'd like to buy real estate off this umpire, that's for sure and certain. So, consequently, Rewalt now has a shot on goal. About 35 metres out, 45-degree angle.
After marking on the boundary line.
After being put over the boundary line, exactly. But he does what good goal kickers do, and he converts the opportunity. So Rewalt gets his first. And the Saints get their third, and it's now 3-4-22 to 3-1-19. We've played 21 and a half minutes gone in the quarter. That will go for 20 minutes plus time on, or is it a restricted quarter?
There was even talk before the game, I don't know what they finalised on, but of just playing flat 30-minute quarters. So I'm sure in about 8 minutes' time we'll get a good idea of if that's the case or not.
I heard Anthony Mundine said it was only going to be a 10-round fight, not a 12-round fight, so... Sorry. Still a bit dirty. Still a bit dirty on that one. Sonny Bill, yes, of course. Well, Anthony was in the corner. We're back in the middle. The big fella from St Kilda is Hickey, and he gives away a free kicky for an air swing.
Canelio's been getting busy in the middle for the Giants.
Umpire calls it back. He missed that one. Aiden Core had the ball. Free kicky for Hickey. It's a long season, boys. I've got to entertain myself somehow. Giles kicks the air out of the ball, miles up. Cameron goes off before acceptances. Mark taken in defence by Blake. It's a big kick from Giles.
Yeah.
He goes wide. This is dangerous. Punch comes. Montagna doesn't get it. Might get the 1-2, though, from a teammate. Doesn't need to. Now he does. Montagna, far side of the ground, decides to kick long down the stripe. Chance for the Giants here. Kennedy. Young fella, number 40, decides to fight a teammate. Umpire might say that's throwing the ball. No. We'll have a boundary throw in, far side of the ground. 23 minutes gone in the first quarter. It's the Saints by 3.
Good to see Adam Kennedy back. He's missed a couple of weeks with illness. The umpire throws it in on the far side. Quick kick is smothered as Lenny Hayes once again gets his hands on it. Sipos for the Saints. Goes one way, then the other. Tackle should be holding the ball, but Dylan Shield gets it for the Giants as they push forward again. Stream of Giants running forward here. Dylan Shield, here's a chance from here. 50 out. Goes on his left towards goal. The goal umpire moves slightly and it's just missed. One behind.
It's a good build-up from the boundary throwing off up back there.
Just a stream of Giants running forward, wasn't there, Dom?
Good to see, yeah.
And it's like, though, sometimes they get the ball, they're scared to go with their first option. You know, as you're taught as a kid, go your first option, but now they're sort of seeing so many options, they don't know which way to go. They'll get there.
Good problem to have for the Giants.
Absolutely.
Montagna has it in his own back 50. Another short kick. The Saints probably keen for that quarter-time break in this very warm day at Blacktown International Sports Park. Stephen takes a mark just outside the 50 for the Saints. Looks to go long up the line. Curtly Hampton's there one-on-one, gets a fist on it, but the Saints crumb well. Adam Kennedy has to go back with courage, and he does so and takes a strong mark. Kennedy hands off.
Montagnan's finding plenty of it for the Saints.
Yeah.
The Giants go long, finds Giles in the middle, great kick. Treloar goes inside 50, one-on-one for Patton, but Gwilt, just his experience showed there, and some great body work as he plays on quickly to Del Santo.
Del Santo spears one out wide to Blake. Should be able to find a teammate, and does. It's Jones. Has a bounce. Good pressure, though, from the Giants. Frost. Very good pressure. Sheedy be very happy with that. In the meantime, Kennedy has it and is pinged for holding the ball. You heard the call from the crowd, and Stevie Milne gets his first touch for the afternoon. Good interception there for the Giants by Hoskin Elliott. Trouble though for the Saints, for the Giants, as the Saints clear through. Sipos spots up a teammate in Lee. Lee off to the right foot. In fact, it's not Lee, it's Stephen. And Stephen has kicked a minor score. 3-5, 23, 3-2, 20. Yeah, I reckon the inside 50s would probably be about square. It's just the conversions.
Been very competitive quarter.
Absolutely.
More to kick it in for the Giants. Goes short. Curtly Hampton, hasn't he worked hard this quarter? Had some big jobs against Stevie Milne and the rest of the Mosquito fleet in the Saints forward line. The umpire tells him to move it on, and he does so. Back to Moore, right in front of the goals as he finds a man, Lockie Whitfield, on the far wing.
Skulls is spreading hard here. Doesn't get used.
Goes inside to Bug. Giants just trying to control possession late in this quarter. Caw's found some room. The Giants get outside 50 as Caw gets it. Has an option up the line. It'll be Giles one-on-one with Hickey. Ball falls to the ground. Giles, the better of the two ruckmen on the ground, finally picks it up. Gets a free kick there.
He persisted, Giles, then.
Yeah, it just seemed to be trickling away from him very slowly. Big
man's problem. I never had that when I was playing. My problem was ability. I didn't have any of that either. It's the only thing that stopped me from playing first grade football.
Giles looks to go inside. He's called to play on and goes short to his housemate and co-captain Callum Ward. Just in front of the grandstand here at Blacktown International Sports Park. A healthy crowd here at Blacktown.
Don't know whether that's the option.
St Kilda run down the clock here.
Yeah, looks like it. Call might have come, but the St Kilda players really starting to put some pressure on defence as the Giants go to the other side of the field.
Beautiful kick from
nice
Moore.
Little kick from Moore, and it finds Smith. Quickly plays on, but the kick wasn't good. Went to a 2-1. Gwilt can repel for the Saints, and he does so, but that's an awful kick. Now it's the Giants' turn. Probably needed to slow it down there. Shield gets the ball. They're running around. Now they decide just to bomb it towards full forward. Underneath it, Cameron. Punch came from behind, was Blake.
Jack Nunes.
Jack Nunes. Got any history with him?
Yeah, he's a previous Vic Metro teammate with myself a couple of years ago there, so he's a very good wingman. Plays pretty similar to Montagna, so they'll be rapt to have him.
Okay, Jones with the ball and spears it into Nathan Wright, another new face for the Saints in 2013. He decides to send it back to Montagna, who's probably had a dozen or so in the first quarter. Umpire calls him to play on. Can't be too much time left in this opening quarter. Montagna heads towards McAvoy and Rewalt. The former gets their hands to the ball but doesn't hold on to it. Jones again at the foot of the pack, as all good Rovers should be. Just sends it back inside 50. The high flyer there was Malera. Didn't go anywhere near the ball. Hickey for the Saints tries to bend down. Hasn't got a left foot and doesn't look like he's got a handball either. But then he finds his cohort in McAvoy. He's got a hoof. He kicks it in, but a good mark is taken. Phil Davis.
Very solid.
Does very well.
From Phil.
Yeah, good mark. And just when the Giants needed. You don't want to have a goal kicked late in the quarter. Turns a good 3-point margin into a sort of 10-point margin as Patton marks in the centre of the ground.
Right.
Should go long.
He does do just that, Russ. As Cameron gets under the ball and takes it one-on-one with Gwilt. He hardly had a metre on him, and he's managed to get his arms free and hold on for a mark. He's looked very dangerous across that half-forward line, Jeremy Cameron, so far this afternoon.
Yeah, it was just as Russ said earlier, in a one-on-one opportunity, Jeremy's played very well. So it was a beautiful kick coming in from Jonathan Patton across the midfield there. So it was a well-weighted kick, gave Jeremy a chance to run and use his agility to get to that ball.
Yeah, body on body, he's going to probably lose more than he wins against Gwilt, but in a running contest, you'd back him every time.
Yeah, he uses the angles very well and cuts back towards the goal line pretty strongly.
Cameron kicks on goal.
It's better.
And that one he's got it. Another goal for Jeremy Cameron. He's had a great start to this match as the Giants kick their fourth. 4 goals to 26, lead the Saints 3-5-23, 29.5 minutes into this first quarter.
Very impressive start by Jeremy this quarter.
I think it's a great start.
He's won his fair share of the one-on-one contest.
That'd be 3 goals for Jeremy, wouldn't it? 3 goals this quarter, not a bad start at all.
Is it 3?
2.
Yep.
2. I thought I had Devon Smith and who kicked the one out here? Was it Green or Smith?
Toby kicked one from set shot.
So it must be 3. We'll get back to you shortly.
Clean it all up at quarter time as Brogan's in there again, almost at the 30-minute mark of this quarter. And there we are, right on the 30-minute mark. The siren goes. And the Giants take a 3-point lead into this first break. 4 goals to 26, lead the Saints 3-5-23. Quarter time at Blacktown International Sports Park.
Fans, tickets for round 1 are now on sale. Don't miss your chance to see us take on last year's premiers, the Sydney Swans, at ANZ Stadium on March 30. We've been working hard all pre-season to show the Swans what the Giants are made of. And the season is almost here. Head to Ticketek or the ticketing section of our website to get your tickets today.
Cal, the excitement must really be building towards round 1 with the excitement here of the Battle of the Bridge.
Yeah, it is. We love playing the Swans out here, and hopefully we can start to begin something pretty special out here in Sydney, and hopefully the fans will love the derby that we've started.
What is it with the rivalry with the Swans that you think will really catch the city's attention?
Well, I think everyone out east, especially loves the Swans, so hopefully we can start beginning all the fans out the west to love the Giants as well. And rivalries, I think local rivalries are pretty special. If you look at Man United versus Man City, it's always a huge day, and even in the A-League, it's always a huge day. So hopefully we can begin that here.
Out opportunity for Ward on his non-preferred side. The first goal kicker for the GWS. Wilson comes in now. That is a whopping 55-metre hoist to the ball. The young man has kicked his first goal in 3.
Pre-season's nearly behind you now. What are some of the positive signs you've seen from the boys?
I think with us, I think we're usually pretty competitive. We always have a crack. We always crack in and pretty hard over the ball as well. And I think already you can notice that the experience that the guys got from last year playing in the AFL system for the first time has really come through. I think we've played some good football so far in the NAB Cup, and I think you can really tell that the guys really understand what's expected of AFL footy this year.
Played the Swans round 1 last year. Round 1 again this year. What's your message to the fans for them to come out to ANZ Stadium?
We'll be super competitive. Hopefully we can close the gap on the Swans this year. NAB 1 we played the Swans and smashed them by 4 or 5 goals in the shortened game, so that gave us plenty of confidence. So hopefully we can take that into round 1 and really take it up to them.
Giants fans, tickets for round 1 are now on sale. Don't miss your chance to see us take on last year's premiers, the Sydney Swans, at ANZ Stadium on March 30. We've been working hard all pre-season to show the Swans what the Giants are made of. And the season is almost here. Head to Ticketek or the ticketing section of our website to get your tickets today.
Even if you're overseas, you can still become a Giants member and support the mighty Giants. Whether you're an Australian overseas or an AFL lover, you can still always become a global Giant. Sign up today and you'll receive your membership pack in the mail and exclusive video content from me, Kevin Sheedy, each week before anyone else. I'll keep you up to date, behind the scenes information on the game and preview the following round. So we would love to have you on our team and join the mighty Giants today.
Thompson opens the Coke bottle. Bomber. You know what was funny? I reckon Hurdy's turned around ready to spray one of the young assistants. He found it was Bomber and had to have a bit of a laugh. But you've got to be better than that, Bomber.
Bomber, you know when it's got a bit of juice in it, you don't take the top of it.
Boyd had to be careful with the handball. Gave it to Easton Wood. Watch out.
What tackle.
Oh, ferocious stuff, Lenny Hayes. And Jack Stevens salutes with a goal. And they all go to Lenny. And there's a rumble around Etihad Stadium.
Talk about hitting a brick wall. Lenny Hayes has just read the sidestep and gone crunch.
Malera trying to get through. Grimes did well not to overcommit. Here's Hayes. Beautiful round one, round two. Lenny Hayes, you star. Kick it goal, and the fan up there in the second deck says, oh boy. Mate, you just got to play within your limitations and do not go over the edge.
Disaster.
What about the bloke in front of him? Didn't spill one drop of his beer.
Haven't seen a lot of him out his own, but he's won a lot of hard balls. Sloan likewise. Big third quarter from Rory. In the wet ground, 3 bounces. Keeps on going. Went too fast for his own good, but Portleasure's back on it. So's Walker. Hodge got him. Walker. Sloan kept going. Sloan off the left boot. Rory. That's an absolute terrific goal. Take him out, my man.
Welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park. In the practice match between the GWS Giants and St Kilda, the Giants lead by 3 points at quarter time. Up here with Dom Tyson, the injured Giants midfielder. And the second quarter is about to get underway. Dom, just quickly, your thoughts on that first quarter?
Yeah, very impressive from both sides. Obviously a hot day, so yeah, just got to keep working at it for the Giants.
The bounce in the middle goes a bit astray, so the umpire calls it back. We'll go through it again with a ball up, this time with John Giles up against Ben McAvoy in the ruck. Giles gets first hands on it. The Saints get a handball out. Callum Ward chases hard. May have caught one high, but Toby Green covers for him, gets a handball up. Will Hoskin-Elliott on the boot, but it's marked there by Geary for the Saints. Geary looks inside, finds a teammate in Nick Del Santo, must have been just 15 metres on that pass. He switches sides. So the Saints try and set something up on the far side with Wright. Goes wide, but great pressure there by Devon Smith. And that's the stuff that Kevin Sheedy and Leon Cameron be after.
Yeah, definitely. Dev's obviously one of our best players at that forward pressure. Very quick, and he's got that great closing speed. I guess obviously along with Liam, those two provide a lot of defensive
Kevin
pressure.
Sheedy and Leon Cameron be after. Here we go. The ball in, falls to that man, Devon Smith. He gets onto a torpedo.
Johnny.
Patton's one out.
Ooh.
Goes just over his head, and it goes into the
trickled
post.
in for a goal.
This would have been handy by Smith.
There's no super goals, is there?
No, not today, but he would have claimed it.
Local club down there in Lara.
Very proud Lara boy as the Saints play on, and Tim Moore comes across with a double-handed fist, and it goes out of bounds, and another throw in. A good crowd here at Blacktown International Sports Park. A very important ground for the Giants. The guys train out here about once a week. You love coming out here. It's fantastic surface.
Definitely, yeah. We've got a great relationship with the Blacktown people and the council here. So we obviously trained here as our base all last year, but recently moved to Sydney Olympic Park. But yeah, great to get back to Blacktown, and I guess where we all started.
The Saints get it away. Liam Sumner in a foot race. You'd back him 9 times out of 10 in this situation. The speedster tries to get onto his left boot, but gets a handball away. Jones clears to Milne for the Saints. It's clever, gets it, kick it up to Hickey, straight up on the wing. Hickey looks inside, the former Gold Coast son. One-on-one, Rewald and Davis. Davis does fantastically well. Geez, he's often just battling above his body weight there, isn't he, Dom?
Yeah, he's a great match up there for Rewald. Big, great test for Phil, and so far I'd say he's definitely on top.
Another big challenge week in, week out for Davis. Giles gets the tap down. He's doing well, but it spills to Toby Green. Hoskin Elliott to Bug. Bug up the line. Sumner, not ideal for him. As Geary takes a mark, looks inside quickly and plays on. Wright gets a handball away, and the Saints look set up an attacking thrust. Here we go. The Saints on the far side now. Looks like Robertson chips inside to Trent Dennis-Lane. Another boy who's just joined the Saints this year. He's gone from the Sydney Swans, and it looks like he'll have a shot at goal from just outside 50.
I think it was a good pickup for St Kilda, Dennis-Lane. He was sort of the fringe player at Sydney, but he'll fit into that forward line at St Kilda very nicely.
Yeah, probably one of those, as they say, that 23rd man for the Swans. So,
Luxard in the first quarter goes back for a long run up, kicks from right on 50, and he's just missed. To the right-hand side, looks like Tim Moore will take the kick out. Dom, you played that one game against the Saints last year. What impressed you about them last year, and where do you think, obviously completely different scenario this year, where do you think the Giants have picked up against the Saints?
I think, yeah, last year we were pretty convincingly beaten by the Saints. It was down in Etihad, I think, towards the end of the year, and yeah, their ball movement was very quick and exciting. So I think for us, it's our pressure's obviously lifted, and with the new sort of game plan, which probably invites a bit more run and carry through the middle, we can sort of create a bit more scoring opportunities rather than being a bit more defensive, as we're probably trying to prevent scores more last year rather than creating opportunities. So that's probably the main difference.
And a little bit of patience as opposed to just reacting quickly, as they're showing right at the moment. Bug off that left foot, goes towards Giles, but butting in was Blake for St Kilda. And I don't know whether he'd be too happy about getting a 2-on-1 all the time. Robertson. Is it Roberts or Robert? Robertson.
Yeah, I think it's a typo on the team sheet you got there.
Goes in the middle. Former Docker. Stephen, now with the ball. He's getting plenty of it as well. Right in the middle of the ground. Decides to spot up Nick Rewald. The pass looks good. The mark almost there from the big fella. Del Santo at the foot. Then to Gilbert. Decides to have a ping on goal from 50. It's a good stab. It's a very good stab from Sam Gilbert. 2 steps, bang. Never left about 10 or 12 feet off the ground. And the new surfer dude of the St Kilda Football Club in Sam Gilbert picks up his first goal of the afternoon. The Saints now back in front. The margin back to 3 points, 4-6-30 the Saints, 4-3-27 the Giants. And that's 5 minutes gone second term.
Russ, I give you permission to never believe me again. I've just looked up the season guide, and you were right, Robertson. So never listen to me. The Frankston boy, after spending a couple of years at the Dockers in Perth, he's come back home.
I haven't got my guide. I might nick that from you before the day's out, actually. We are back in the middle. McAvoy for the Saints, and Giles for GWS, Scully, Green, and who else is in the middle for the Giants?
Reed.
Looks like Reed, yes, Sam Reed. Umpires found a free kick against Giles. Shepherding out at the ruck, not allowed. So, St Kilda back into attack through Sipos. Kick is poor. Going down towards the big fella Hickey, who's trying to muster some pace, but in these conditions I think you'll find it very, very uncomfortable as the game goes on. Closely attended by Stephen Gillum, who's a big unit. I didn't know Stephen Gillum was that big, but he's a big lump of a lad. Giles just gets the nudge from behind McAvoy, does well. Bug went the air, he didn't work. Montagna from almost near the boundary line heads towards the goals, but going back and taking a mark uncontested after doing well in the contest was Davis. Davis did very well there, managed to get rid of his opponent. And he's found Shield. He decides to kick it long, but this again is a 2 or 3 on 1, and McAvoy front position takes a fairly comfortable mark. Chips it inboard, this time to Armitage. Gets called a play on, goes backwards to a teammate. This time it's Geary. Finds Blake by hand. They're going backwards, Saints, but they find a reason and a way to go forward.
Nunes, I think.
And it's Nunes now, right on the point of the square. Decides to kick long. Ooh. This time too long towards Rewell. I reckon that's out in the full. Umpire agrees. It'll be a free kick to the Giants, and Moore will take this. Bit of scrappy play there from the Saints.
Yep, I think you can put that down to more good pressure from the Giants. It's been a standout of this afternoon's match at Blacktown International Sports Park. As Moore bit risky.
Dangerous.
Here he goes. It could work out okay for the Giants here as Bug and Shield try and work something out. It comes to Gilbert. A short kick by Gilbert. He's found a teammate who'll have a shot on goal. I think that's Armitage for the Saints.
Probably the wrong bloke to kick to when you got Del Santo out there, because you know he's going to worry you out of it and be probably the best at ground level, but worth a crack.
Toby Green comes for a rest for the Giants, and Adam Truller and Cal Ward go on for another run. Extended benches today in these warm conditions. Ideal for players to give it everything before round one.
Coming back nicely. Ooh, never looked like getting there. It just started to swing back in from left to right off the left boot of Armitage. He kicks the goal, and the margin now out to 9 points with the Giants 4-3-27, St Kilda 5-6-36. David Armitage gets his first of the afternoon.
Dom, we've seen during the week the Giants membership pass 11,000, which is a fantastic effort for this time of year.
Yeah, definitely. I think this time last year we were probably around the 4,500 mark. So I guess leading into round one, it'd be great to see as many of those 11,000 at the game as we could, and keep building. Hopefully we put on a good display and win a few games and keep developing that membership base. And
just to give that some perspective, there's not too many rugby league clubs that have 11,000 members. So that's right, a fantastic effort in just the second year.
Brogan goes up for the Giants in the middle, and Scully and Reid combine to bear hug Lenny Hayes there. That's another ball up right in the middle in the two circles. Brogan goes up again against Hickey this time. Treloar may have been taken without the ball, and he's earned himself a free kick. Adam Treloar, what a pre-season he's had. He was your guest on the Pocket Profiles during the week, Dom.
He was indeed. Big NBA fan, Adam. So.
Chance here.
Shield into Hampton. Hampton, he's got a good boot on him. Just puts it up high, 25 metres out from the Giants' goal. There's a free kick here.
Had to.
And it goes to big against Jonathan Blake. Giles.
Yeah, it was certainly there. The kick probably not ideal, and they got away with it, but there was certainly a free kick there. But I don't know whether the coaches would be overly happy with. They had a good setup, and they just bombed it in.
Yeah, and just on Giles here there for a minute, he's got that good ability to go forward and take a grab for us. So. I think he was our second leading goal kicker last year. Good effort for a ruckman as he puts that one through.
You've mocked him.
He's missed. He usually practices from about 60 out, Giles. So.
We saw him get onto one in the first quarter. That wasn't far enough for him in the second, as the Saints clear out to the far side and take a mark just inside the defensive 50. So look inside. Oh, Lenny Hayes, boy from out this way at Pennant Hills. Two-time Barker medalist.
Beautiful kick.
Here he goes, and the Saints look to set something up. An attack. Gilbert can run. Another New South Wales product playing in the AFL. Can take a bounce. Instead, he just kicks long inside 50. And there he is, Stevie Milne, all by himself inside the forward 50.
He's had a good couple of minutes, Gilbert, with a goal and set up two teammates inside 50.
What do you reckon of Stevie Milne here, Dom? Will he play on?
He could nearly go the balk on the man at the mark, couldn't he? Get him in midair. He's gone the regulation shot.
And he's drilled it.
Just about hit the post.
Tell you the effort there that you might not have seen, but every coach would have seen it. It was Bo Meister that got the ball over there in the back pocket. He's now in the forward pocket, ran the entire length of the field, was pressured by one of the GWS guys who's got the job with him, but that is no mean feat. I think it might have even been Scully or Hampton that went with him, but no mean feat in conditions like this as the Giants look to attack through Shield. Shield can find Cameron, who's got some space on McAvoy, and should just keep running and back himself here. 2 bounces, should go a third, tries the fancy-wancy kick off the right edge, and it was never, ever going to work. He probably could have just kept running.
Yeah, that's just typical there. He can do the hard things easily, and the easy things makes him look pretty hard. So, yeah, but he got out well and took a few bounces. I think next time he'll just go the traditional drop punt.
Boundary throw in, Lee. McAvoy missed out for the Saints. The ball in dispute this time for the Giants. Green on the right foot, looks okay. He swings it to the left, misses just to the left. We'll have a minor score, and the Giants now move to 4-5-29, trailing by 8 points, 5-7-37.
Dom, I was just going to ask, what would the coach's advice be to Jeremy Cameron after that effort?
I think they don't mind Jezza. He's sort of, as I said before, can do those hard things. So I think he has a bit of a free license running forward. So he's probably just been our best player. So back yourself. Yeah, exactly. It's a message for sure. He's
a crowd favourite and an excitement machine as the Saints play on here. And they've got a bit of room to work here as they attack. It's Stephen, takes his second bounce. Scully chases hard, a tremendous effort. Rewalt gathers the low ball.
Good work.
But the Giants have done well to get numbers around, and Sam Reid
did all the hard
out on
work.
The full. Done all the hard work, as Russ said, and probably should have just picked up the ball and used that speed he's got.
Got a tough job. He's been given the role of marking Jack Stephen, who's had plenty of it. Some of the other matchups that are interesting, Sumner's on Lenny Hayes.
Big job.
And this man, Jones, with the ball. Not sure who he's tagging. Normally a renowned tagger. Maybe given
gone with Ward for a little bit.
He's gone with Ward. I would have thought he might have had a freer role here today. But Rewalt, who was just off the field but came straight back on, centre wing, decides to kick long, inside 50. Target should be Brogan. And whilst that wasn't Rewalt's target, Brogan versus Milne, I'll have my life savings on Big Dino every single time. Gives it back to Timmy Moore. Short pass.
Plowman just came on for his first run in this second quarter.
Okay. Obviously a high-profile young player and plenty expected of him. His first touch is nice. Finds a teammate on...
It's Green out there.
Green on the far right-hand side of the ground, or the far side of the ground. Green, little short pass. They're doing it well, the Giants, not panicking. Canelio, as I say that, just went one step too far. But this time they can settle it down. Plowman again. Delivers well to Shield. They need to set it up. There's players loose everywhere if they want to make it.
Trelaw's running on.
That's the one we're looking at. Trelaw does well. Keep running, son, is the call. He goes long. Finds a teammate on the far side, and Taylor Adams. He's 60 metres out. And the Giants are probably got a good matchup inside 50 here, and he spots up, but you went off early.
Yeah, just missed Johnny there.
Spots up the teammate in Hoskin Elliott, and it just went over his head a little too hot, and there's a turnover for Jones now for the Saints.
As the Saints repel, and Moore goes back, but Meister takes a nice mark. He plays on quickly on his left, but Callum Ward gets his body in the way, and Canelio comes across and ends up with Green. Green has some room, takes a bounce. Now he'll look to deliver inside 50. Too low for Patton at his bootlaces, but Callum Ward gets in after the hard footy and draws a free kick for too high. He plays on quickly, a smart move from 51 metres, has a shot at the snake pit end, and that's a goal. Great goal by the Giants. Fantastic effort by the co-captain Callum Ward.
Yeah, desperate effort there, earns himself a free kick, and smartly played on and used his great kicking ability to slot one through from 50, Wardy.
It's obvious the heat's starting to have an effect because the delivery is a little sloppy, the handballs aren't great. There are just a couple of instances that you can see that these players are struggling, and looking at McAvoy coming off the field, he just looks spent.
Yeah, I think fatigue will play a pretty important role towards the end part of quarters, and especially the fourth quarter.
As we mentioned, Lockie Plowman came on just after quarter time for his first run. He's been one of the new Giants to impress over the summer, Dom.
Yeah, definitely. Lockie can play that sort of third tall role or play on a small as he is now on Malira coming off the back line. So, yeah, he's got beautiful skills as well, so he'll play a good role.
A number 3 draft pick in last year's draft. It's in the middle. Toby Green, as always, head over the footy. Surprising to see Toby get to the second quarter without going off with a head gash. He usually comes back on dressed like a mummy.
Or belting someone.
He tries to start with a head gash now because he knows he's getting one.
A two-hand slap by Brogan, but it goes to Montagna of the Saints, who kicks inside 50. Lees against Moore. That's a great duel, and Moore wins out the Tasmanian. Onto the right boot, it spills out to Smith, who gathers well, turns on his left foot, but has no one out there, and the Saints can relieve
Ray
through Farron Ray at his second AFL club, the Peel Thunder product in Perth. He kicks forward, and here we go. It's back to Lee again.
This time the Giants can repel again through Shield. Brogan. Quick handball. Scully can go wide. Missed his opportunity to go wide, but he's looking for Patton. The big fella should take this, and he does. Couple of grabs. Just needs to slow this one down. He's got some teammates. But you know what? He's probably just as likely to go boom and have a shot on goal, because there's only 1 and 1 in the square.
He's a chance, yeah. He's a beautiful kick.
He's missed the opportunity to go short, and there's too many St Kilda players now. He's got to line it up and deliver.
Money on the line, Dom. Can he kick it from here? It'll be 56 metres.
Yeah, distance won't be the issue. He's got that big tree trunks of legs, Johnny, so I think he'll pop this through.
He almost kicked the man on the mark. It was a mare of a kick, but it's landed in the lap, touched off the boot, landed in the lap of a teammate, but the umpire correctly called play on. Green in there for the Giants, so too Ward. Getting a push in the back for the Giants, looked like Green again. He goes high, and the umpire might have spotted a free kick, but he says no.
Ball up.
And
might have been Ward at the bottom of that one.
Yeah, a couple of players appealing for a free kick. It was Ward, and he was very much attended to. Just in front of the Giants' goal. Chance here. The ball comes out. This time it finds Smith. Smith by quick hands to Whitfield, who has a shot on goal. That one's through, and the Giants are back in front. Terrific performance.
He went with the outside of the boot there, Locke. Beautiful kick, killed in nicely.
So plenty of pressure and maybe a little bit of an advantage for the Giants, who have been in these conditions, although it's been very warm in Melbourne this past week. Certainly out here at Blacktown, a little bit of respite with a cloud or two covering the sun at the moment, but players certainly doing it tough, and I reckon it's probably the best part of mid-30s here at the moment.
Yeah, it's generally pretty humid out in Blacktown, so yeah, it's been probably a warm summer, but I think, yeah, hearing from Melbourne, it's been pretty warm down here. So
6-5-41 the Giants, St Kilda 5-7-37 margin, 4 points. Giants led by 4 at quarter time, and that margin has been maintained. 19th minute into the second term, so a very, very good performance, and the coaching staff would be more than happy with the way the Giants are playing here this afternoon. Probably not so the St Kilda coaching staff, as umpires found a free kick again, this time against Giles. Not sure of that rule about shepherding. I don't think you can touch the player before you can touch the ball, and that was one of those ones where there was body contact from Giles against Hickey, and the umpire, according to the rules and regulations, has no alternative but to award a free kick. So Hickey goes towards the lead of Rewalt. Comes from behind. Call should be play on because it was touched first by Ward. That's correct, and the umpire is 100% there and decides to call it a ball up. He claimed it, I think, Nick, but he might have been
it's a bit sore getting up from
fudging a little bit there. This time, Treloar off the right foot. Ray does well, gets a handball. Back to Gilbert, I should say Fisher, for the Saints. Hampton missed it, had it and missed it. Getting there is Sard, a long time Malura as well. And umpire is saying that you had it long enough, Ahmed Sard, and you didn't do enough with it. And I'm going to penalise you. So Hampton,
it's a good kick, opening up
with the ball, spots it up, Bug in the middle of the ground. Running player was there, but the handball wasn't great. Here's a chance though. Smith got a bit of space, and he's got some speed as well, but he dropped the mark. That's the fatigue setting in, one would think. Scully's there as well for the Giants. We're about 20 metres away from the Giants' goal. Push in the back and a free kick to the Giants.
It's a good second effort from Dev after missing the mark.
And it'll go the way of Devon Smith, directly in front. And as you're right, probably should have taken the mark. But that fatigue is really having an impact as 5 players get set to come on for the Giants and 4 for St Kilda.
Devon Smith will go back for the goal. He was, like yourself, Dom, one of the 8 NAB Rising stars the Giants had last season, a record in the AFL. Looks like he's put a bit of size on over the summer as well.
Got to kick this.
He goes back, he'll kick from 30 metres out. Nice approach, and the umpire doesn't move, and it goes straight through. The Giants kick their 7th. 7-5, 47. Lead the Saints by 10 points, 5-7, 37, 21 minutes into the second quarter. Devon Smith, the Geelong boy, He's had another good summer. Put on a bit of size. What kind of role do you see him playing this year?
Yeah, we sort of spoke about that earlier. He's sort of very important to that defensive side of things. He obviously creates a lot of attacking options for us, but one of the things he does very well is that defensive pressure for their half-backs and creates turnovers. So, yeah, very important.
You're watching Giants TV with the Giants taking on St Kilda in this practice match. Any questions for Dom? Get us on Twitter at GWS_Giants. We'll get to him at halftime as Giles gets the kick out of the middle. Goes inside forward 50. Patton comes hard, but a courageous mark by the Saints. With Geary, who goes to Del Santo. He'll clear once again.
A good, beautiful boot of Nick Del Santo. Goes wide and finds McAvoy. He can handball to Ray, running down the far side wing. Looks for a teammate in... Well, I was about to call him Wilkes, but it's not. It's Meister. And he misses the mark. Was it Meister or Meister?
I'm not too sure. I think it's Meister.
Misses the mark. And this time Scully finishes up with the ball in hand.
And Whitfield now.
Now Whitfield. He's getting a little bit of it early on.
Yeah,
that's good.
Very impressive.
He finds a teammate in Cornelio. Goes wide. This is a chance for the Giants. Real crucial moment in the game here. Giants player decides to run around Big McAvoy. Again. Smith did very well and then spoiled it with a poor kick. And the mark's taken by Blake for St Kilda. And they'll just try and settle things down. They trail by 10. Close to half time. Finds a teammate in Geary in the middle of the ground.
Be great to get one more goal here.
Be fantastic for the Giants to get one more. I don't know about that kick. It was to McAvoy, but he found a handball teammate in Stephen. He ran too fast, surely, umpire, and he agrees.
It's a good chase from Johnny Patton out there on that far wing.
Well, that was good. It was probably a silly decision to kick to the big fella in the first place, but he did have support, but Stephen forgot that there's a bouncing of the ball that takes place. Cornelio misses it. Then bounces back, recovers well.
It's Frost.
The Giants can go laterally through Frost. They do well to Bug. Got a nice left foot. Hampton in the middle of the ground. Should go wide, and he does. Finds his teammates in Hoskin Elliott. Should set it up beautifully. The kick is poor. St Kilda can recover here if they want to, and they do through Robertson. And disappointing end to a good build-up there for the Giants. The ball heads towards the boundary, and Hampton does very well. Spins around, and then decides to do it all. Doesn't need his teammate.
Charles.
Got rid of Trent Dennis-Lane very well. Ball inside 50 for the Giants. But Jones for St Kilda can turn things around, and he does so with a short pass to Murdoch.
Murdoch, his first touch for the afternoon. The young boy from Glenelg, played seniors there last season. He switches straight away, a dangerous kick, but he's found a teammate with Frost closing in well.
Yeah, that's 50. That's silly. Can't touch them after they've taken the mark.
It's that fine line to create a bit of pressure or give away the 50, and on that occasion just went a little bit too far.
Sam Frost, very impressive last week in the loss in Canberra against the Bombers, kicking 2 goals. Stephen looking to do something tricky here. He goes to Gwilt, who drops it, but it gets back to his teammate in Stephen, who goes long inside forward 50, looking for Rewald, but it's looks like Gilbert's moved down there. No, spills out again for the Saints, but Reed for the Giants does well. Gilbert finally gets his hands on it, kicks long, but Plowman, the number 3 draft pick, does very well going back with courage. He just slows it down and looks at his options. He'll go long up the line. Kicks towards Patton and Frost out there as well. The Saints get first hands on the ground, and there's a hold in the ball.
Great tackle, Cornelio.
Steve Cornelio.
I think I might have heard him too, just quietly.
Season cut short at the end of last season with injury, but hasn't missed a beat at all this pre-season. One half of the G1 and G3, the second most popular program on the Giants website. Isn't that right, Dom Tyson?
Accurate, very accurate.
Plowman finds it again on half-back for the Giants.
Oh, well done.
He does well. Sloppy kick, but it'll fall to Scully in the centre square for the Giants.
It's off the right-hand side of the boot, but it did fall right into his lap. And this time Kennedy finds a teammate. Green can do something here if they want to, the Giants. Very important. Davis, by hand, goes out wide. Drills a pass in the middle of the ground. Umpire pays the mark, and it'll be Taylor? Adams? Adam Treloar.
He's just within range, I think.
Do you reckon?
54. He might put it to the top of the square.
26 minutes gone in this particular half. He's had a shot at the top of the square. The big leaper is Cameron, missed it. Patton's there as well. Ball's gone out of bounds, I would have thought. The umpire agrees, and we'll have a boundary throw in adjacent to the Giants' behind post. They lead by 10 points. Latter end of the second quarter, and the game certainly has dropped a little bit in pace in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Chance for the Giants to go and put another score on the board as Hayes gets it for St Kilda, gives it to Stephen. He dribbles one outside 50, but it's coming back with interest as Kennedy turns it around, spots up a teammate in the middle of the ground.
It's Core.
This is Core, decides to run around his opposite, then goes towards 50 and puts a bomb high and wide, but McAvoy getting back for St Kilda. In fact, he's taken that over the boundary line, I think, on the double grab, and the umpire's ruled that it's out of bounds and not a mark. So we'll have a boundary throw in.
With 2.5 minutes to go in this quarter, the ball's thrown in. The Saints gather a handball out. It's a hot footy in there. The umpire's picked out a free kick and it will go towards the Giants' way. That's a good result. Dom, you asked for a goal before.
It's Canelio, Steve, yeah.
Asked for a goal before half-time, and it looks like Canelio will have the chance to do that for the Giants.
This is going to be important.
It'd be great to end the half-time break, 16 points up.
Just got word we'll have a special guest at half-time. The chairman, Tony Shepherd, will be joining us here on Giants TV at half-time, so stick around for that. And also send in your tweets to Dom Tyson at GWS_Giants. He's a very popular man, Dom, as Canelio goes back for his first goal for the afternoon. He goes straight over the goal umpire's hat as the Giants move to 8-5-53, leading the Saints 5-7-37, 28 minutes gone in the second term.
Very important goal, that one. Not particularly from the margin perspective, although that is important, but the amount of times that the ball had been inside 50 for a net result of 0 over the last 5 minutes may just have given St Kilda a little bit of a sniff.
Reward for effort.
Yeah, GWS were running out of a bit of steam, but as you say, reward standable given the time of year and the heat. But the result being a 16-point margin, and still 2 minutes left on the clock, a minute and a half left on the clock, perhaps even time for one more for the Giants. Looks like Brogan is back in the middle, and so too is McAvoy, and here's Fairdincombe looking for a petrol station. Ward tackled. Umpire says you had it. Tried to evade a tackle, so consequently I'm going to penalise you, and that man Lenny Hayes picks it up. Dangerous time, minute to go. Saints need a goal, and the Giants would love to stop them. Out in front, Armitage should take the mark. In fact, it's not Armitage, it's that man Meister, who had a bit of space in front of him and led to the space. The Giants' defence was caught napping, and he'll have a shot on goal and kick right from the 50-metre imprint. And the arc here at Blacktown International Sports Stadium. Farron Ray coming off for a rest. Stevie Milne will come on. And Meister, long kick, kicks it high and kicks it straight, and that's a goal. And that's just not what the Giants would have liked. One inside 50 in about 5 or 6 minutes, and they convert. Consequently, at the other end of the ground, there are a number of inside 50s and just the one goal. So we're back to a margin of 10 points. Very close to half-time here at Blacktown. It is 8-5-53 the Giants. St Kilda 6-7-43 as the siren goes in the background. Quickly through the goal kickers. Cameron has 3 for the Giants. Singles to Smith, Ward, Whitfield, Green and Canelio. While for the Saints, Meister has 1. So too Malera, Armitage, Gilbert, Rewalt and Montagna. 8-5-53. The Giants lead St Kilda by 10 points at half-time.
Battle of the Bridge, Saturday 30th of March. Tickets available at ticketek.com.au.
Well, ever since I've been at the club, I've been really happy here and got a lot of good mates here now, and I never saw myself leaving. Never really wanted to go to another club or return home, so not really getting homesick anymore.
Yeah, obviously just came through the right time for me. The club's done everything right in terms of my knee rehab, and yeah, obviously being here for close to a year and a half, just felt settled, and I'm really looking forward to committing to the club for another couple of years. So yeah.
The boys are going to be successful in the next couple of years. Got a few new players, James Stewart, Lockie Whitfield, Aidan Core. They're going to be exciting talent, and also my girlfriend moved up, so it's pretty easy to stay.
Yeah, I don't know, it got put forward to me. I'm enjoying my time down here in Sydney. Boys, they're all getting around me. I see the club, like, exciting times. We're going to go places, so I definitely want to be a part of that.
Can't wait to get into the home and away season this year for the team. Everyone's looking fit and strong and ready to go, and personally just feeling pretty good and looking forward to building on the 3 games I played last year.
Really good, having a good second half of the year last year, so hopefully I'll bring that form into this year.
Yeah, well, I guess the last 2 years at the club's been really good for me, and something I wanted to stick around and be a part of. Where the club's going in the future is something I want to be around.
Oh, well, that's it. It's a young group. There's so many first-round picks, and the best thing about it all is they're all good blokes. We're really tight off the field, which I think will hold us in good stead on the field in the future.
I guess coming through in a draft group of 14, 15 blokes, we can sort of create something special there. I mean, sort of become your best mates, you live with them and train with them, so you're sort of pretty tight group. So to sort of come through together and hopefully challenge in the near future to the top will be something pretty exciting.
I think someone like Aidan Core, who's got a really good physical ability, he's quick and athletic. I think someone like him who can go into a really good player for the team.
I think it's the talent that's amongst the group. Here at training, and some of the boys and some of their skills is amazing, and just knowing in a few years we get a bit of experience and we're flying.
And just especially with Leon Cameron coming to the club, he's been really good for me and been really good for the group. So love everyone at the club, and yeah, just never wanted to leave.
And definitely coming to Sydney Olympic Park with new facilities and some new coaches was certainly massive for my decision.
I look forward to seeing what we've trained for so hard over pre-season, all coming together, and last week we saw a bit of that all coming together, and with the new coach and everything that we're learning, it's really good to see everything we've got going over pre-season.
Hopefully I can keep improving and just get my spot in the side and do what I need to do to help the team hopefully get a few more wins this year.
I just want to get some more experience, get as many games under my belt as I can, and hopefully play a few good games and show people what I can do, and just try and just get some experience and some confidence out there with the big guys.
I want to play up to 15 games. I got 10 last year, so another 5 would be perfect.
This year I'm just trying to get as many games as possible, work on my size and strength, and just work on a few little things so I can keep up with the big boys.
Just the skills and the talent that the boys have, we're just a young group, but we're going to go places.
Giants fans, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode with the General, Jonathan Patton, but we've got a pretty big guest this week, so we've had 2 pretty good ones in a row now. We're joined by one of the 8 Rising Star nominations from last year, Adam Treloar. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Thanks for having me, mate. Very excited.
Yeah, obviously, mate, good to have you on board. Come off a pretty good year last year. You started off with an injury in pre-season, which just delayed you a little bit, but came off pretty well in the end last year.
Yeah, I had a foot injury last year, and that set me back a fair bit.
obviously I didn't get to do pre-season last year, which limited my games. I obviously got to play my first game in round 3, and from there I was really confident. I backed myself and had a bit of a purple patch towards the end of the year, and finished the year off strong. So hopefully I can take that into next year.
Yeah, definitely. So what are you sort of thinking of heading into next year in terms of your footy goals?
I guess it's been really good so far. I haven't been injured, touch wood. I just hope to play as many games as I can and finish off the year how I started, I guess finished last year, start the year how I finished last year.
Definitely. Yeah, we'll just go back to last week. Obviously it was pretty disappointing against Essendon, who they touched us up, 90-point loss there, so we'll be looking to bounce back this week against St Kilda.
Yeah, definitely. 2 o'clock out at Blacktown. Hopefully we can see as many Giants fans there.
Yeah, beautiful. Moving in a little bit of off-field. But the boys stitched up Adzi a bit because they reckon he likes NBA more than football. So, yeah, we've had a tweet come through from Aiden. He wants to know how many NBA jerseys you actually own.
Well, I recently got 2 yesterday for my birthday. I think I've got about 30 jerseys now. My beautiful girlfriend, Kelsey Tompkins, she bought me 2 jerseys yesterday, and that takes the count to 30. And I think between us, Sam Darley and my roommate and I, we've got about 60 between us. So fair to say we love the NBA.
Another one off Twitter here, Adzi. Sophie tweeted in. She wants to know how your dog Griffin settled into Sydney.
Yes, my Siberian Husky. His name's Griffin, obviously. We got him about a month ago. He's 15 weeks old, and yeah, he's settling in real well. He's definitely at the chewing stage, so he likes to chew a lot, but yeah, he's settling in real well.
We've had a little bit of a weird one here too. We've actually had a tweet in from a bloke called Sam Darley, and he wanted to know what it's like living with the best housemate in the world. That was quite Sam Darley.
Yeah, well, I think he's delusional there, mate. I think he's...
we'll have to have a chat to him about self-praise.
He's trying to get his name on TV, so...
Yeah, there you go. You can cut that. Don't put him on. Yeah, obviously we had an exciting announcement this week. The Derby, now known as the Battle of the Bridge, so that's in 2 weeks' time. So it'll be great to see you guys buy some tickets for that and get a good crowd brewing. So it should be a good game. We obviously beat them a couple of weeks ago in the NAB Cup, so yeah, hopefully it'll be a good game. Thanks for Adam for joining us, and I hope you learn a bit about it.
Thanks for having me, Giants fans.
Beautiful. Thanks a lot, guys.
Saturday, 30th of March. Tickets available at ticketek.com.au.
It's an exciting time for AFL in Sydney.
Well, it is. I mean, it's an exciting time for the Giants because obviously, you know, both teams were at the top of the ladder and the bottom of the ladder last year, but we actually want to improve, and our competitiveness in a game like this against a premiership club is very, very important, and we want to create eventually an icon match. This will come to fruition when we eventually start beating Sydney.
You've witnessed some of the great rivalries and derbies around the world, including the Manchester derby. You see the Sydney derby, the Battle of the Bridge, growing into one of them?
Well, it depends on how we all look at it. I think that it will be one day, because there'll be no love lost between the two clubs when we're up and running in full stride. We're an improved side this year, which is important for us to be. And I think after watching Man U and Manchester United, how that evolves is a very, very important positioning of these two teams in Sydney. I mean, I've seen it happen with obviously Collingwood and Essendon on Anzac Day, and of course Richmond and Essendon on Dreamtime. And these icon-type games are something that really, in many ways, we can actually build because of you know, the success that the NRL have had really in State of Origin. We don't have State of Origin, but we can actually create our own icon games and replace a State of Origin from our point of view as a game and also as a club.
The first Battle of the Bridge will be the 30th of March at ANZ Stadium. It must be a game you're really looking forward to, along with the team.
Well, it is. I mean, we know that Sydney don't play well there, so that gives us a great opportunity. They don't like coming to the ground. And I think that tightens up their game. They're a very good inside team, you know, around the stoppages and that. And I think that, you know, we'll pick a pretty good side in good form and do our best.
Welcome back to the Giants and St Kilda, the practice match at Blacktown International Sports Park on Giants TV. And as I mentioned in the second quarter, a very special guest joining us in the commentary box at halftime, the chairman of the Giants, Tony Shepherd. Thanks for sharing some time with us.
Oh, my pleasure to be here. And what a great day out here at Blacktown, our original home ground. And it's good to see such a nice crowd here today, mum and dad and the kids, and beautiful afternoon. So great day for footy.
You've been down there amongst the crowd.
Yeah, good buzz.
What's their feedback been of? We look here from the commentary box. A fantastic setup here at Blacktown.
It is. It's a great oval, and the fans love coming here. And we're really starting to get some rusted-on supporters now. These are people that have followed us through the NEFL and through our first year last year, and are sticking with us this year as well. So we're starting to build a really good local base.
Some warm conditions for the players, but plenty of comfort on the sidelines. What have you seen that's impressed you of the players in this first half?
I think in the first half, I think their attack on the ball was much, much stronger than last week. I think they certainly playing with a lot more confidence. Conversion and kicking could be a little bit better, but I think they've done well. I think both teams have struggled with the hot conditions. Of course, Melbourne's had this a great sunbreak or sun wave for the last couple of months, so I think they're used to training in hot conditions as well.
Going into the second season for the Giants, plenty of challenges, but exciting times as well in the greater Western Sydney area.
Oh yeah, look, the club is really settling down now and getting on with the job. We've got over 11,000 members now, which is a fantastic result. We're a long way ahead of where we were at this time last year. We're building up for the round 1, 30th of March against the Swans. We expect a really big roll-up, and I hope all of our fans can make that. That is a big day for us, and I'm sure our boys will do well on that day because they've really been building themselves up for it.
The Battle of the Bridge, the match will be known as
the Battle of the Bridge. What a great name that is. I think it was Sheedy that came up with that. Typical Sheedy, always comes up with the bright ideas. So the Battle of the Bridge is great. And this will be a feature of sport in Sydney for many, many years to come. We will build this. We'll build on this philosophy of the two local teams really going for it.
It'll be a great opportunity for fans to come out. ANZ Stadium, Easter Saturday. So yeah, it's a time for families. It'll be a fantastic time in with the Easter show as well.
It will be great. It coincides with the Easter show, and I think it's in the demographic heart of Sydney, Homebush Bay, so we'd expect people coming from all directions to it. And it's a great facility. It's the home of the Sydney Olympics, so hopefully everybody will turn up and support their local team. It's a very important game for us, so the more support we get, the better.
It's been an impressive pre-season by the Giants. We've had games at Blacktown International Sports Park, Wagga, Canberra. We've got the new training base coming together nicely at Sydney Olympic Park. The Giants' footprint is really spreading to a fair size, isn't it?
Look, the thing about our guys is they travel so well. I mean, they can play in Wagga one week, Canberra the next week, Sydney the week after, Melbourne the after that. They never complain. They just get on with the job. We're certainly building our base, in places like Wagga and the Riverina, which are really part of ours, a big, important part of our zone. Canberra, of course, is vitally important to us. Canberra's been terrific for this club, and we really enjoy playing up there. We've got really strong local support, so that's great for us. But of course, Western Sydney is our home, and this is where we want to have the supporters coming and supporting us.
Not long until the second half gets underway. Tony, just finally, membership you mentioned at 11,000, pushing towards 15,000. It's a great way for the club for fans to engage with the club, isn't it?
It is a fantastic way, and look, it's a wonderful afternoon. I mean, our games are beautifully run. You can bring mum and dad can bring the kids. You'll have a wonderful afternoon, a beautiful Sydney afternoon, and you'll see some of the most talented young athletes in Australia playing. So, yes, very, very good outing. It's something that everybody in Western Sydney should come at least once.
Tony Shepherd, thanks for your time on Giants TV. Go and enjoy the second half. And the Giants are up by 10 points at this stage. Can you give us a prediction for full time?
Oh, I think we'll be in front.
Very good.
Thank you.
Tony Shepherd, the chairman of the GWS Giants there as the Giants players just make their way to the bench, and the Saints players will do the same in just a moment. A big second half coming up. The Giants lead the Saints by 10 points. Just looking ahead to round one for both clubs. The Saints take on Gold Coast at Metricon up there on the Gold Coast. And for the Giants, that huge Battle of the Bridge clash against the Sydney Swans. ANZ Stadium, 30th of March. It's Easter Saturday. It's a fantastic opportunity for the fans to come along and see last year's premiers up against the rising stars that are the Giants. So round one, 30th of March, put it in your diaries now. It's going to be a fantastic game. Russ, you've had a bit of a breather in the half time. What did you think of that first half?
Oh, well, I thought both teams adapted to the conditions very, very well. There were some standout performers on both sides of the fence. Probably the best player of either side at this particular stage was Jack Stevens. Just got plenty of the footy. Montagna was good. I thought McAvoy was really good when he was on the field, but you know he's going to struggle. It'll be interesting to see what Dom said, what was going on in the sheds, because I reckon that there would have been a lot of focus on recovery and making sure these guys are replenishing themselves. So we're underway again, so we'll get Dom's thoughts in a second. Brogan and McAvoy go at it in the centre, and that man, Stephen, gets the ball again, gives it off to Sipos. Bit of a fumble, high tackle against the Giants. Looked like Devon Smith, and the free kick will go the way of Armitage. Point of the square, goes over the top. Handball is very dangerous. Umpire says it's okay. Jones gets his boot to ball, just thumps it towards half forward. Dennis Lane for St Kilda. Tackled, should be holding the ball. Umpire agrees. And now it's the chance of Hampton, who plays on quickly. Probably needed just to slow it down a fraction. Finds a teammate. Looks like Green. Goes back via hand. The Giants can attack, although that kick is poor. And this time
Armitage.
The mark is again taken by Armitage. Mate, what did they... we haven't got really... I'll get you in when we have a little bit of a break in play, because it'll be interesting to see what the coaches of both sides, particularly the Giants, thought at halftime with conditions oppressive out here at Blacktown. Ball, though, now with Green for the Giants. Just outside 50 for the St Kilda side. Their end of the ground, they're down by 10 points. No score since half-time. The Giants now kick it out of defensive 50, head towards Big Patton. They all watch it go past. Chance here for a quick breakaway if the Giants get a bit of luck. Ward dives on the footy, tackled very quickly by Gwilt, and the umpire will call a hold. What was the word at half-time?
Yeah, just keep the same sort of ball movement going. I think we've created a few chances when we have that one-on-one with Cameron up forward and Patton. So if we can get that quick ball movement and give the forwards a chance, I think we're more likely to score.
The Saints push forward. Hickey has it below his knees, not his favourite spot, but Milne chases after it. But well done by Kennedy for the Giants, and the ball goes out under the scoreboard. Nearly 2 minutes gone in the third quarter. The Giants hold a 10-point lead.
What about the heat?
Yeah, the boys, they had the ice vests on, and we're getting into the slushies down there, and they all look pretty...
slushies?
The slushies, yeah. There's one back there, actually.
Dom Tyson, number 29 for the Giants, joining us in commentary as the ball is thrown in, and quickly it makes its way over the boundary again, and the ball... The boundary umpire, I should say, will throw it in once again. Dom, having a chat to a few of the players who played NEFL earlier today. How did they find the conditions?
Yeah, very hot out at Gibbs Road in Greystanes there. They got the win against Sydney Uni convincingly, and yeah, they found it pretty tough. They played at 10:30 today, so still very hot.
Jones takes the mark, looks inside, but he's managed to pull a 50-metre penalty there. And the umpire will bring him to within goal-kicking distance. And this could be the perfect start to the half for the Saints. It's gone against Devon Smith. He must have ran over the mark there. So Jones, former South Fremantle player in WA. He's been at the Saints for a few years now. Finished the year in the reserves, but has had an impressive pre-season. Runs in, a steady approach on goal, and it slides across the face of goal for one behind. The margin is brought back to 9 points, 3 minutes into the second term. Any
of the guys really struggling, particularly, and coaching staff said, well, you'll just take very little part in the second half?
No, look, I think they've been managing the interchange quite well. I'm not sure on the rotations there, but we've got an extended number on the bench, so they've got that up their sleeve. So I
reckon the big fellas might be doing it tough. And speaking of which, Brogan Punch came, though, from McAvoy. Was a good punch as well. At the foot of the pack, though, is Davis. Taking a while to get it. Moore. Still going for St Kilda, the big fella Hickey. So the big boys are getting plenty of action. Cornelio, little chip over the top. Probably a little too cute.
Scully's on.
Scully is on from the kick from Treloar. Goes to the right foot. Cameron was in position. Scully should have played on with the left boot and gone wide, but he put his teammate under a bit of pressure there, and he gave away a free kick, Cameron. And Blake, the recipient, to Sipos. Sipos can go wide to Ray. He marks. St Kilda got a good build-up going here. If they go wide to the skipper, Rewalt takes the mark. Centre wing, far side of the ground. No score, no major score since half-time, but the Saints have a minor score. Armitage off the short pass, kicks long, inside 50. Good mark. Trent Dennis Lane was last man up and brings it down. Took a couple of bites at the cherry. And as I said in the first quarter, in the second quarter, he might just be one of the recruits for St Kilda. Very, very good overhead, very fast, and he's a good finisher, and he's got a chance here to get Saints on the board in the second half.
Yeah, it was one of those ones at half-time. The coaches highlighted what the GWS small defenders have done well. I only think Malera there's got the one goal, and Mills been kept scoreless, and Dennis Lane yet to get a goal. So that was something we focused on, and hopefully they continue that in the second half.
Here he comes. Trent Dennis Lane lines up, looks good off the boot. He likes it, goal umpire likes it, and he kicks his first for the afternoon. St Kilda close to within just 3 points. It's 7-8-50 the Saints. Giants 8-5-53, 5.5 gone in the third term.
Trent Dennis Lane seems to have really smoothed out his approach to goal on the set shots. Remember last season for the Swans, he really jumped around
and skip and
yeah, interesting link for Trent Dennis Lane to the Saints. Obviously, he played under Scott Wattis back in the day when they were both at Subiaco in the Waffles. So that's seen those two come together again.
Interesting year for Scott Wattis this year. Obviously, not too many of us have St Kilda. I don't know about you, Lee, but St Kilda to me are in that 8th, 9th, 10th era in your ladder. I hope they go well, and a lot of guys are saying their premiership window's closed. I'm not one of those.
Scully kicks forward, and Giles takes a low-down mark. Great mark. Like you mentioned in the first half, Dom Tyson, it's fantastic to have your number one ruckman be able to just float forward like that.
Yeah, definitely. Joff's got a great one-on-one marking ability, and obviously very tall and strong. He's usually a very good kick for goal. I don't want to mock him now. I mocked him the first time. So, very long kick, and I think he kicked above 20 goals last year for us. 20
games, 18 goals for the club last year. He goes off the right foot to the southern end of Blacktown and straight through the middle. The quick reply from the Giants. A fantastic effort as the margin remains at 9 points. 6 minutes into this third quarter. Dom, I just want to speak to you about a couple of weeks ago. We saw the announcement, yourself and 6 other Giants re-signed with the club. Many fans viewing this on Giants TV wouldn't have been aware. So yourself, John Patton, Will Hoskin-Elliott, Aidan Corr, Kurtley Hampton, Andrew Phillips and Sammy Frost all joined for another couple of years. It must be a great mood around the club.
Yeah, definitely. We had a lot recommit last year, and definitely we just put a lot of faith into the club. Obviously, they put a lot into us, and collectively, it was great to sign together with a big group.
Back in the middle we go, and there's a very vocal supporter base here. One bloke certainly got the voice out in full force at Blacktown as the Giants head west, and a mark is taken by Adams, far side of the ground. Can find Hampton in the middle. Kick is iffy, but Hampton does well and takes the mark. Bit of pressure there from Meister, but he goes wide again, and this time Moore, and gets taken high. That should be 50, although I reckon he was off. So I'm not sure whether the free kick was for the high tackle, and if it was, as Moore goes over the top, this time finds Plowman. Plowman does the right thing, heads towards Patton and also Giles. In front, though, for St Kilda's the big fella Hickey. Hickey gets a handball out to Ray, and the Saints can clear outside 50, and they do.
Mark is taken there by Meister.
Gilbert's running hard for St Kilda.
Going well, and this one goes down towards Malera. He was a standout in his first year for the Saints last year. Finds that man, Gilbert, that you just mentioned, Dom Tyson. He gets it onto his left boot, never likes the right. Plowman comes over the top for the Giants with a big fist, and Timmy Moore does well to rush it through for a behind. The margin It's brought back to 8 points, 8.5 minutes into this third term, with the Giants leading 9-5-59 to the Saints 7-9-51.
Was there anything spoken about the delivery inside 50, the bombing of things?
Yeah, definitely. I think those short hit-ups haven't quite been working for us. The Saints have got numbers back. But that time when we got out in paddock where we could kick long to a Jeremy running back towards goal was what worked well for us.
Lockie Whitfield runs hard with an 80-metre lead and finds the footy in his hands. Fantastic running ability, the number 1 draft pick. Kicks long towards Dean Brogan, but it's cut off the Saints here through Jones. Bit of a 1-2 as they look to reload. Devon Smith, a fantastic tackle. And the ball goes over the boundary on the far side of Blacktown International Sports Park.
He runs hard, Meister. He's certainly covering some territory at the moment for the Saints, so they'll be pretty happy with the way things are going there. Giles now in the ruck, and Gilbert is the only one left, and he infringes. Just had no idea as the big fella McAvoy lumbers back onto the field. He is certainly struggling, as you'd expect. Davis back on for the Giants. Hampton now in the centre of the ground. Little chip over the top. Spots up Shield. Very nice kick. He's got players running past. Ignores them.
It's 50 now.
Should be 50. The Saints are calling play on. The umpire says the same. They go long to a 1-on-2, and McAvoy really comfortably takes the mark, and probably the wrong option there from Dylan Shield as Montagna marks far side of the ground for St Kilda. Hasn't had much to do in this third quarter, Montagna. Farron Ray, though, has. He goes long, tries to find a teammate forward, but that ball is coming back, and the Giants' defence is going very well at the moment.
Game's opened up a bit now.
Certainly has. Play on the call. That time it was Smith onto Shield. Runs himself into trouble and then doubles back. Gives it back to Smith, who's in all sorts. Decides to give a handball off. This time Reid is in trouble. The umpire will have a gutful of this, and he's awarded a free kick the way of St Kilda. Just a little too much mucking around there, and Ray is the recipient of the free kick.
Called it well, Dom. The match is opening up as Gilbert looks to rebound for the Saints once again. A long handball over the top. He finds a teammate who goes inside to Nunes. A guy you've played some footy with, Dom Tyson, but he's caught by the captain, Callum Ward. What a fantastic tackle. Callum Ward just sets the standard with that.
Definitely, yeah. I think he led our tackles last year along with our contested ball, so he's that real hard nut for us inside.
Kicks long, Patton inside 50, shrugs a tackle, gets the handball off to his partner in crime, Cameron, who's tackled. Devon Smith chases hard, but the Giants couldn't stop the Saints, get it out as Meister goes up. Falls to Kirtley Hampton, who's had an afternoon out here at Blacktown. Aiden Core does well to maintain composure. And that's a free kick to Adam Trelaw, who fires back. Had his birthday last week and he's still fired up from a bit of birthday cake, I reckon, as Cal Ward kicks along to the top of the square. Jeremy Cameron can't pull in the mark and spills to Geary.
Geary kicks wide to the running Malera. He overruns the ball. Chance, though, for the Giants to come straight back via Bug. Little chip over the top is good.
Jason Blake's just coming off the ground here with a bit of a leg injury, so it's one for the Saints fans.
We'll keep an eye on that as Scully has a rest as well. In the middle of the ground is Reid. Poor kick, just high up and under to a 3-on-3 in the middle of the square. Ball goes over the back. Gwilt for St Kilda should be able to control it. He doesn't need to. Finds a couple of teammates who help him out. The ball goes wide. This time to Meister, who cops an absolute whack around the mush. Pleads with the umpire, says, serious, are you joking me?
Aiden Core, the number 14 pick in last year's draft. How have you found him, Dom?
Yeah, he's got great closing speed coming off the back line, and like Plowman can sort of play on that small and tall, so he's very versatile for us down there.
A couple of these boys don't mind a little bit of rough and tumble, do they?
Good to see.
Obviously they were last at the dinner table when they were growing up, because they fire up when everyone takes anything from them, that's for sure. Sipos goes wide and finds Farron Ray can send it towards his skipper in Rewalt, who marks centre wing. Game's certainly slowing up.
Just saying Phil wouldn't mind him getting it up there.
Yeah. Not going to kick too many goals from 60 or 100 metres away. This time the mark is taken by Whitfield. No? Plowman, I beg your pardon. Plowman finds Gillum, who's been rather quiet, but now he gets his hands on the ball. This time to Cornelio. Back to about where Rewalt was just a short time ago. They should move it here, the Giants. Put a little pass in the middle of the ground. And the mark is taken by Trelaw. Now he decides to go long. Lead comes from Cameron. 2 grabs at it, missed it the second time at the foot of the pack. Giants can kick it forward. Chance here again for the Giants as the ball heads towards the boundary line. Whitfield. Good work, Whitfield. Back to Reid. Reid's kick is good. Ward marks in front of goal, 30 metres out, almost directly in front. Great play, the Giants.
Yeah, on that occasion, Lockie put in the hard yards and was able to win that hard ball, and pretty clever handball over the top there to Sammy Reid, who lowered his vision and saw Carroll inside. So,
well, you would have thought that he would have just had a shot at goal, but he took his time.
Off here now.
And now, as is the case when it starts to get warm, the Saints defenders really dropped off there, and it was left to poor old McAvoy to pick up the crumbs. But in the meantime, Toby Green receives the pass from Ward. He's an extra 10 or 15 metres closer to the goals, and now will kick almost directly in front, or just to the right, for his second of the afternoon. Should be able to convert, and has. So the Giants back out to a 14-point margin here at Blacktown. 10-5-65. Green has 2, and St Kilda 7-9-51. And I don't know whether Scotty Waters would be happy with some of what he's seeing. He'd be happy with some of the work, but the forward line looks to be lacking a little bit of run for St Kilda at the moment.
Yeah, there's although they've got those small forwards, they've sort of been pretty well held by the likes of Hampton and Kennedy and Plowman and Course, so that's probably a win for the Giants so far.
It'll start back in the middle. The Giants with a 14-point lead thanks to Toby Green's second. John Giles up against Ben McAvoy in the middle. Ball goes up nice and high at Blacktown. Giles gets the knockdown, and Cornelio gets his hands on it. Quick kick on the right and finds that man Green again. He's found some space on the close wing. Kicks towards the forward 50. Sam Frost with those big bucket hands. Falls to the ground but recovers well, but Gilbert does well. Gets the ball to his boot. And Del Santo, with so much experience, does well to keep it in. Up to his long-time teammate, Nick Rewalt. A busy off-season for Rewalt. Got married in Texas. Now he looks to play on outside of the shadow. Kicks towards the forward 50. Cork gets an arm in there. Well sport, but Lenny Hayes, composed as always, gets it out to Del Santo, who kicks it to the top of the Saints forward square, but falls well for the Saints. And like my commentary, Stephen has made an absolute mess of that one. And I'll give it over to you.
It's a practice game.
One quick one about Jack Stephen. The Saints website has him as the darts champion of the Saints Footy Club. So, Don, do the Giants play much darts?
No, we're a bit more into the table tennis there, but darts is a good one.
Two young blokes in the Giants, they're probably into Wii or some of those games on the iPhone, something that my 5-year-old does. But Giants might have dropped their head a little bit there. Hampton kicked it out in a full, and so Rewalt will have the chance to reload and return it back to the Giants or the Saints forward line. He goes short to a one-on-one. Ball's not out yet. High tackle, says the umpire, and the free kick will go to Ward. Good play, Cullen Ward, the only bloke who didn't stop because he thought the ball wasn't out and everybody else thought it was. Davis via hand to Cornelio. Trouble, big trouble in Little China. But now the Giants can clear. They do so. Might be a free kick there for the Giants, but the umpire says no, and Davis now sees the ball over the line. In fact, he's been pinged for deliberate.
Very good pressure from St Kilda there.
And the free kick will go with Meister, who's right on the point of the arc, boundary line and the arc where they meet. So 50 metres out, very harsh angle. Should just try and centre it up. He does so and finds Farron Ray. Just close.
15.1 metres.
Just closer an angle. It's a practice game, boys. We can let those ones slide. Ray now going to try and have a shot at goal. Kicks it long. Kicks it straight. That's a great kick. And Farron Ray has taken matters into his own hands and kicked his first for the afternoon to narrow the margin back to 7 points. 10-5, 65 GWS. St Kilda 8-10, 58. A couple of the big names come for a rest, including Lenny Hayes, and on goes young Trent Dennis Lane for St Kilda.
Tom, you mentioned the table tennis that the Giants play. Adam Kennedy rates himself as the best. Where do you fall in that pecking order?
I'm not one for self-praise, Lee, so I'll stay out of that one. I struggle, mate. Struggle.
Adam Kennedy, the best of the bunch?
Who's the best golfer in the team?
Probably Jeremy Cameron. He gives it a mighty whack. And just for the Saints fans, Jason Black's come back on and looks fine. So might have just been cramp earlier.
Okay, that's good news for the Saints fans. Armitage gets his boot to ball in the middle of the ground. Punch, though, came from Moore.
Cornelio is getting very busy.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Kennedy goes wide and he finds Taylor Adams, who marks on centre wing. Giants just look to have a little bit more run in the legs. A bit of local knowledge here out at Blacktown. Having said that, he didn't know what to do with that one. And Taylor Adams finished up just handballing it over the boundary line. Lucky not to get pinged. Bit of pressure from St Kilda. 7 points the margin. Nearly 20-minute mark of the third term.
The umpire to throw it in again on the far side of Blacktown International Sports Park. Giles versus Hickey. Jones does very well for the Saints. Kicks towards Milne. He likes this situation. Gets it off to Jones, his teammate. He kicks inside 50 for the Saints. Meister in prime position, but he can't take it. Great punch by Phil Davis. Stevie Gillam there to help him out as well.
It's a great run.
Here we go. Will Hoskin Elliott, the number 4 pick from the 2011 draft.
Just keep running.
Ounces. His first game for the preseason in the Giants jump up, but it falls short, and that man Blake takes it, and the Saints can rebound outside 50 again. Great run by Will Hoskin Elliott there for the Giants. It's back with Ahmed Saad. He gives it to his more experienced teammate in Montana, but he spills it. And here goes Toby Green. What can he do in this situation? Fires out a clever handball. Hoskin Elliott again, another handball. There we go, Callum Ward, he's tripped there.
Leg.
The umpire calls play on Trelaw from 52 metres out to the top of the square. Jeremy Cameron's lurking dangerously and takes it. But the umpire didn't like that. He said hands in the back and it'll go to Robertson. The play's on to Farron Ray, who can rebound again for the Saints with a long kick out to, I think it's Jack Stephen on the wing with plenty of room. The ball bounces nicely for him. He takes one bounce, thinks about a second, but instead goes inside to Rewalt. And Rewalt can't hold it. Phil Davis does well in that situation. Cornelio, handball, Brogan, just looking to steady the ship for the Giants across half-back with a short kick, but it's intercepted. Hickey goes long, but it's all Giants there, and Tim Moore takes the mark.
I just reckon we should pause things, just rewind for the last 2 or 3 minutes and start again, with all due respect, and delete it, because I think it started with Hoskin Elliott. If he'd have just taken, he could have taken 3 or 4 more bounces.
He's a long kick of the footy, Will, so he could have taken the grass and had a shot there, but unselfishly went. Yeah,
he was doing the team thing, don't get me wrong, but he just, you know, when you got 100 metres in front of you, just keep running, and he could have run all the way into goal. But anyway, what happened out of all of that was no score and a lot of turnovers. So the ball is now in front of the St Kilda interchange, about 60 away from their goal. They trail by 7 points, 22nd minute mark of the third term. Been a very, very enthusiastic game as Armitage does very well. Gives off a beautiful handball to the running Stephen. Stephen spots up Rewalt. He's managed to get rid of 2 players, Nick. Getting some work certainly from Gillam. Gillam then gets a push. Does well to get a handball away, and the Giants through Davis have done fabulously well. Cornelio nearly botches it. Goes backwards. Finds a teammate by hand as Davis. He wants to get rid of it in a hurry, and he does so well, and the Giants clear.
Hoskin Elliott towards Whitfield, but he has 2 opponents. Milne does the better for the Saints. His messy kick rolls inside the forward 50, and Cornelio slams it on the boots to send the Giants forward. Cameron takes it on centre wing. It's an open space in front of him as he goes long. Patton here. What can he pull in? Nothing. Devon Smith's at the ground, as is Liam Sumner. Dangerous in this situation. Sumner gets back onto it for a second effort, but falls out to Sumner again. Could turn onto his left boot here. It's a messy, sloppy piece of play. Devon Smith is tackled there by Nunes for the Saints, and the Saints look like they're running away with it through Robertson.
Robertson does, and it was 100% right. Bit of back play, argy-bargy going on. We'll keep an eye on that. Not surprising. The umpire is getting himself involved, and just seeing if a couple of the recidivists are involved, i.e. Cornelio and Green, but they're nowhere to be seen, I don't think.
He was young Devon Smith there.
Devon Smith, he's another one of the trio, isn't he? In the meantime, the Giants picked up a free kick, and the mark is now taken by Bug. 30 out from the Saints goal. He goes wide. Hoskin Elliott, is it? Marks there in the half forward, right half.
Had a good couple of minutes, Will, running hard and finding the footy.
Right half back, I should say. He chips it over the top again to Bug. He then hurls it on the left foot. But underneath it and waiting patiently is Sipos, and he marks just the other side of centre wing. Margin still 7 points. 24th minute mark of this third term as Armitage marks right on the square. St Kilda need a goal, and he's found Montagna by hand, who throws it back quickly to Armitage. Now he looks for Rewald. The kick is poor. Nick Rewald makes a terrific effort, and all of the sudden Adams had his name all over that ball, and Rewald just stole it and will now have a shot at goal from 40 metres out, almost directly in front. And I don't think Adams would be too happy with his performance there.
Yeah, it was just it was a great effort by Rewald there. Was just able to use his superior height and just grab it from the grass of Tay, who's running off now.
Some of those times I think the best effort when you've got the big fella coming up is just a spoil. Yeah.
Play the percentages.
So Rewald now will come in and have a shot on goal, or he's shanked. Chance though for a mark to be taken. It is, although the umpire is suggesting it's out in the full. No, he's not. And it's marked by, is it Malera?
Yep.
He tries to do the check side, which for those people listening who don't know, the banana kick, but I'm the old school. I like to call it the check side.
It's Montagna now.
And Montagna's taken the mark, but he's had to go back about 20 metres. So Lethal Lee will kick from pretty much 50 metres. This will test him.
You'd imagine so. Tired legs after the amount of ground he's covered so far today. He'll kick from just outside 50. What can he do?
Good looking roost. He made it easily. Just to the right, slides across. He's kicked 1 goal, 1 so far this afternoon has Lee Montagna, and the margin now back to 1 straight kick. 8 goals, 11, 59 St Kilda. They've had plenty of inside 50s in this quarter. Haven't managed to convert too many. They've kicked the 2 goals, as have GWS, who've kicked the 2 goals since half-time, and no minor scores, whereas St Kilda have kicked 2 goals, 4. Anyway, via hand, comes the way of Green. Decides to double back and then just kicks another high up and under towards centre wing. Over the top, Reed probably should have gone the punch, but went the Hail Mary in front of the crowd, and the result was a boundary throw-in with nobody getting anywhere near the footy.
Brogan up against McAvoy for this contest. Brogan shows experience, taps down to Green and gets a handball off to Ward. Goes one way, then the other. Tries to shrug a tackle, but Jack Stephen, like a terrier, just wouldn't let him go, the Giants skipper. And Stephen earns the kick.
He had help back there with Hampton as well.
Yeah.
Goes on quickly to Joe Montagna. What does he do? Goes long inside 50 towards Meister, who can't mark. Spills out the back to Plowman, who's got help there with Shield. He's covered plenty of ground today as well. Dylan Shield kicks long, and unfortunately goes straight down the throat of James Gwilt for the Saints, who can reload on centre wing. Goes in short to Farron Ray. He's found plenty of it this quarter as well. Gwilt, another short kick on his left, and that could be 50. Aiden Call gives away the 50, and that'll give the Saints a shot on goal from inside the square to level the scores.
Bit unlucky there. I think he was, I don't even think the mark was actually taken, but just the impact. And it's either 1 second either way. I think you said it's one of those decisions, the 50-50 ones, what do you do? I just think he came out second best.
Yeah, definitely. It's that touch and go moment where do you hold back or really try and make the spoil, because there's the risk of the 50, and there, as you see, a goal to Jack Nunes, who's ripped the top off.
It's just, he's done a Novak Djokovic.
He's looking for a tan there for a couple of seconds.
I thought that was just some new age post-goal celebration by ripping your jumper off. You wouldn't want to be Tony Lockett. You do it 130 times a year.
Dom, while we've got a sec, we mentioned at the top of the match that you're out with a knee injury at the moment. Can you just update everyone on Giants TV how that's coming along?
Yeah, so far so good. Went down in December, so I'm now about 11 weeks post-op and just started running. So, yeah, good to have that week and sort of little milestone to start running, and yeah, maybe a mid-year return's probably most likely at this case. Good
news, Giants fans. Hopefully see number 29, Dom Tyson, back on the field for the Giants by the middle of the year as Giles goes up against Hickey here. But the Saints win it out of the middle, but Dylan Shield does well for the Giants. Kicks inside the forward 50. Brogan's having a rest in the forward line, but he can't pull in the mark. But Farron Ray clears up for the Saints again and switches to Stephen, who's had an absolute truckload of the ball this afternoon. He kicks along the far wing and finds Montagna, runner-up in the Saints' best and fairest last year. He looks inside, but a fantastic spoil by the Giants, and it spills to Treloar, who fires a handball out, redeeming himself for that missed one a couple of minutes ago. Adams.
Chance.
Fantastic kick to Whitfield. Loves his situation. Clever player like him. Kennedy, a chip kick to Sumner. He's got plenty of options. What does he do? Goes short. Spilt mark by Frost as the Saints are first back onto it. And they look to clear again. And this time will be through Robertson, who kicks long.
Yeah, a chance gone begging there for the Giants. And they might pay as Meister marks on centre wing for the St Kilda side. Spots up a teammate short. And it's Milne, who hasn't had too much to say or do this afternoon. Moore's done a good job late. Rewalt now. Ball in hand. Looks for a handball, but it's smothered. And well done by the Giants. And we'll see the ball go over the boundary line. It was Plowman.
It's been very solid. Yeah,
done very well back there.
Come on there.
Looked like he was running out of puff there a minute or two ago, but he seems to have found his second win. Giles and McAvoy, both in the ruck. McAvoy, I reckon, might have got that one on points. Ridden into the ground is one of the Giants players by Trent Dennis-Lane. The umpire says, nah, I'll have a piece of that. Or has he found a free kick?
He's pulled one out. It's going the Saints' way.
Lenny Hayes, no surprise there. Last man up with the ball in hand and gets the free kick, as it should be. Lenny Hayes, point of the square. A couple of loose teammates now. This is Stephen again. Kick's not great. Inboard. Chance there for Hoskin Elliott and also for Sumner. Screwed over the top of the shoulder by one of the St Kilda players for a minor score. But it's enough to put them in front, right on three-quarter time. So St Kilda have turned their fortunes around. They were down by 10 at half-time. They now lead by 1 at three-quarter time. Very good game of football here despite the conditions. 9-12-66 the Saints. GWS 10-5-65. The multiple goal kickers. Cameron has 3 for the Giants and all singles at this stage for the Saints. Margin a point here at Blacktown. We'll be back shortly.
Sports Park. We'd like to remind you to stick around after the match. There will be kick-to-kick on the ground after the match. We ask that you wait until the sound of the second siren until you enter the field of play. But stick around after the match. There will be kick-to-kick here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out here to Blacktown International Sports Park for this final hit out for the GWS Giants against St Kilda. Remind you to stick around after the match. There will be kick to keep on the field. We ask that you remain behind the fences until the sound of the second side. So stick around, there will be kick to keep here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Just wait for the sound of the second side.
Welcome back to Giants TV, where the GWS Giants trail St Kilda by 1 point in the practice match here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Russell Barwick and Lee Mayrick with special guest Dom Tyson, number 29 for the Giants in commentary. And Dom, unfortunately the Saints kicked a couple of goals for the Giants late in that third quarter. What would the message have been from Kevin Sheedy at three-quarter time? Yeah, it just would have been to maintain that work rate we showed in the first half and create those one-on-one chances for our forwards, who look pretty dangerous when they have their opponents one-on-one. Here we go, final quarter, excuse me, at Blacktown, and Giles gets the tap down ahead of Hickey. Players piling on the ball, and as usual, Hayes, the first man out, gets a little handball, this time to Stephen, swings it onto the left boot, inside 50, punch comes from Davis from the Giants, and the ball will go out of bounds, adjacent to the St Kilda behind post. Margin here, one behind. Phil's been very solid down back all day for us, so he's had a big match-up on Rewalt and now found himself on Meister at times as well. Yeah, absolutely. Ward, first purchase after the throw-in. Should have got a free kick from the umpire, but didn't, and Ray sees the ball over the boundary line. Seems to have really worked well, Phil Davis, with Stephen Gillam, that extra pair of hands in the defensive 50. Yeah, definitely, along with Timmy Moore down there, who does play on those power forwards as well, so they've got a nice little trio developing. Yeah, all good for the future. Pushing the contest there. The free kick will go against Hickey, and it'll go the way of Giles. I wouldn't mind betting the GWS guys, Leon Cameron, Kevin Sheedy, would like a little bit more from this man, Jonathan Patton, where the ball is headed at the moment. Just seems a little bit out of sorts. Maybe timing's not there. He's half-pie hobbling as well at the same time. Yeah, he missed last week with a cork thigh, and he sort of seems to be a little bit hampered by it, but it's a tough day for forwards with limited opportunity one-on-one, but he's presented well and hopefully gets his hands on it in this last quarter. Shocking throw-in from the boundary umpire. Lenny Hayes took the knock-in. Green this time gets it done, does well. Trelaw does a little kick through for the Giants, but it ends up in the hands of Aaron Sipos for St Kilda. Drives it long towards Trent Dennis Lane. He didn't really compete for the ball, and now the Giants can clear via Davis, who got the handball away from Thomas Bugg. Good kick. And it goes long towards Whitfield. He's one-on-one with Robertson. Whitfield loses his footing, and Robertson wins out the former Docker. Good work. He puts one on the side of the boot and finds his teammate Stan Gilbert, who goes in short to the experienced Del Santo. He goes back and steadies for the Saints, 70 metres out. So they look for that opening goal of the final term that'll be so important for both teams. Back to Gilbert, who puts it on that big left boot to the top of the square. Gillam's one-on-one, gets a fist in, but there's that man, Jack Stephen. He's been everywhere this match, and he gets the first goal for the quarter to the Saints. And the Saints extend their lead to 10-12, 72. They lead the Giants 10-5, 65, 2.5 minutes into this final term. He did all he could, I think, there, Skulls. He'd run really well defensively for us, but
just Stephen had that little half metre on him, and luckily enough got boot to ball, kicked a nice goal.
There's no Brownlow votes today, but I reckon that if there was, he'd have the 3 well and truly parcelled up with 20 minutes left in this final quarter. He's been outstanding, kicked a goal, probably had the best part of 25 maybe?
Just about, yeah. Plenty
25
of clearances as well.
Possessions, plenty of clearances, and quite a bit of 1%ers, for want of a better term. Lots of good work around the ground. He's back in the middle, and it looks like Adams has been given the job to try and quieten him down. Giles gets the tap, looking for Ward. He missed him. Reed's in there as well for the Giants. Good work this time from Sumner. Goes back inboard. Whitfield now. That was Adams, who goes very wide towards Whitfield. Dangerous kick, and it mightn't come off, although Whitfield's got the pace to be ahead of Gilbert, but Gilbert's got the skill to shepherd him over the line, and will have a boundary throw in about 80 metres away from St Kilda's goal.
It's an important last quarter here for both teams, because the Saints have travelled to Canberra in round 3, where the Giants play at Manuka. It's going to be a fantastic match there in Canberra, so important for both teams to get the wood over the other.
Definitely, yeah. I guess round 3 is coming up pretty soon. We have a nice little relationship with Canberra down there and play some good footy, so it'd be good to us to get the wood over them early.
Close to 4,000 Giants members in Canberra. It's going to be fantastic. 3 games down there this year against the Saints, Gold Coast and the Bulldogs. So looking forward to getting that underway in round 3. Bug gets it away to the far side of the Giants with Toby Green. He's been busy in this second half. Plenty of players in the Giants' half of the ground. Taylor Adams gets his hands on it, goes back and looks at his options. He's going to go long. It goes inside the forward 50 for the Giants. Jeremy Cameron's in the region, but there, a great mark by the Saints. Hickey in his first year at the Saints after crossing from the Gold Coast Suns. He's called to play on, and he kicks out, but it only finds a Giant. It's a good mark. Handball in. Bug goes inside 50 to Frost. And Frost takes a nice mark right on 50, 55 metres out. He'll have to kick from Dom Tyson. Does he have the distance in his legs?
He's a very big kick on the run, Frosty, so I'm interested to see how he goes from the set shot here. But watch for the big leg extension on Frosty. It just about hits his head when he kicks through it.
He's a man mountain, isn't he?
Yeah. Watch the leg here. Nice and high.
He's kicked it 80 metres in the air.
He's got under it, and it goes right to the line, but the goal umpire doesn't like it and says, no, that was rushed over. We'll give you one behind, and that closes the margin to 6 points. A beautiful afternoon for football here at Blacktown International Sports Park.
St Kilda now trying to get it away from their own goal through Armitage. Chips over the top, and he finds Gwilt. Gwilt now on that trusty left foot. Goes long down the stripe to a one-on-one contest. The punch was good from Bug. Giles did the roving work. Back in's board. This time it's picked up by Smith. Smith can chip over the top to Shield. Doesn't know what to do with it. Now he spots up a teammate. Middle of the ground. It's Reed. And Reed will have a shot on goal.
Is that one of the best kicks you've seen today, Dom? He just put it out to advantage.
Yeah, definitely. He used the space well and allowed him to just run into that little open gap. And as Russ is celebrating nicely here.
Always like a good bit of play in football. For those of you who just joined us, Russell Barwick, Lee Mayrick, and Dom Tyson helping us out from the GWS Giants is Sam Reed. Very familiar name in football, Sam Reed, and he's managed to convert this one, has he? He has. He likes it. And the Giants continue on their merry, merry way.
He's going to be an important player for the Giants again this year, Dom. 5 games for him last year for the Giants before a shoulder injury. He came with Callum Ward from the Bulldogs. How do you see his role this season?
Yeah, he's sort of had a very injury-interrupted previous sort of career. He's sort of, at the Bulldogs had a lot of shoulder injuries and come to us and had a shoulder last year. So just to get him on the park's great for us, and he's a very good player when he has that consistency of playing games together. So, yeah, as you said before, 5 games and hopefully a few more this year.
Played a great match for the Neefel side in Canberra last week, kicking 4 goals as Brogan is back in the middle. It spills out. That man, Sam Reed, follows it up. The Saints look to have it here, though, as they go inside the forward 50, and it's one behind. So the Saints very quick to respond there, and they take back the lead. The Saints lead by 1 point, 7.5 minutes into this final term. at Blacktown International Sports Park as Stephen Gillam takes the kick out and goes to Tom Bugg, a local in the northwest of Sydney.
Good mark.
Set up home with Tom Scully at Kellyville. Here we go, Brogan. Nice kick into Dylan Shield, who's been very busy in this second half.
A bit of useless trivia, Lee. The new training ground, the training ground where you guys are currently at Gipps Road, which I love to call Goanna Park, was the scene of some very average performances when I was a regular for the Parramatta Goannas back in the early 80s, unfortunately. Like a lot of the good things in the 80s, best left forgotten.
Here go the Saints through Geary to Farron Ray. He's covered some territory this afternoon. One bounce and goes wide. Gillam gets close, but the umpire says, no, you've made too much contact with him in the back there. It'll be Big McAvoy. Big
McAvoy takes the mark, or the free kick. Saints lead by a point. Business end of the game. Rolling over, taking the mark is Jones, this time in front of Toby Green. Jones has been busy, but he's also managed to do a couple of dumb things, and that was one of them. A poor kick to his skipper, and it was straight into the lap of a Giants player. Now Davis. That's not smart either. Goes backwards and straight to a contest, but manages to recover and redeem himself. Now, chance for the Giants. Green, bit of space, can go inboard and does so to Ward. Players are running past, but they're not running past with pace, as Reed this time. Chips a ball into the middle of the ground. This time it's Smith. Turns around on the right foot. Screaming through his Trelaw onto the left foot. Does it all himself. Kicks a goal. Giants back in front. Game on here at Blacktown. Good work, Devon Smith. Good work also, Callan Ward. And sometimes you can just see they're trying a little too much, but when you get one player hitting the ball at pace, it just turns things around. And that, in that particular case, that was Adam Trelaw.
Yeah, they took a few risks through the middle there, starting with Toby's inboard kick to Cal, and yeah, it paid off for him definitely. Sort of got the Saints on the hop there, and lucky enough, a great kick on the left foot, non-preferred by Adam Trelaw.
Trelaw has been one of the standouts for the Giants in the NAB Cup, and he's continued that form today in the practice match against St Kilda. The last hit out for the Giants before the round one clash against the Sydney Swans at ANZ Stadium. The Battle of the Bridge, Saturday, March 30th. Going to be a big game. It's back in the middle. Brogan and Hickey. Hickey, a fantastic tap down to Jones. Puts the Giants under pressure. Rewalt's there for the Saints. But Kennedy does well and gets a handball out to Scully for the Giants, and they clear, but only as far as Hickey, who's done well to get across to the wing. He chips short. Looks like he's got a teammate. Is that Malira on the far side? He goes in short, but straight to Kennedy, who's done well in chopping off Nick Rewalt's lead. Kennedy kicks long to the far side. It's one-on-one, Frost and Gwilt. Gwilt recovers the better, gets a handball off to Montagna. Montagna, handball off to Gilbert. He'll back himself from this position, but instead goes to the top of the square. Dangerous position for the Giants. And Meister, big hands, takes a good mark. And 20 metres out from the Saints' goal, he has the chance to reclaim the lead for the Saints. They're trailing by 5 points, 11 minutes into the fourth quarter.
He's been good.
Yeah, just on that occasion, I think that the mark over Lockie Plowman, who's been good all day, but Meister, he's worked hard and probably deserves this opportunity to kick a goal.
Meister goes back, runs in, pulls it slightly, but it's not enough. He's got it. He's got a goal for the Saints, and they reclaim the lead. They take a 1 point lead in the 12th minute of the final quarter. He's kicked 2 today as the Saints move to 11 goals, 13-79, 1 point ahead of the Giants, 12-6, 78.
Probably a fair reflection of the way the game is going. You wouldn't like to see the Giants lose control of this so close to the end of the game. I mean, it's been nip and tuck the whole way. I thought that if they could stick with them for the first half, it'd be close. You'd hate to see things drop from here into the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's one thing we've been focusing on all pre-season, is that last sort of 5-10 minutes of quarters, and last year was one of the areas that we needed to improve on. We seemed to drop off, so be a good challenge for us in this last few minutes.
Adam Kennedy tries a punch to evade Milne, but it didn't work, so Milne gets a second bite at the cherry, goes towards Rewald. Chance here for St Kilda if they do well, but rushed over the line very smartly by the likes of Thomas Bugg and co. And a minor score margin, now 2 points, but still Just the one serious kick in it as Moore goes short. Finds Canelio, who's been well held by Hayes in this last sort of 10 or 15 minutes. They've had a good battle all day, those two. Scully's been good also in this last half. Reed the target, but Farron Ray, who's also probably in your votes if you did a 3-2-1, he punched the ball goes out of bounds. St Kilda in attack, putting some pressure on. And from a St Kilda perspective, it'd be very disappointing if they lost their last hit out prior to the season proper. They'd be looking for a very good start in 2013 after a disappointing year last year. Now, St Kilda through Jones, taps it to himself, looking for some support, finds it with Gwilt. Gwilt onto the trusty left boot, but they have to go backwards by hand. Good pressure now on Blake. Blake just decides to hoof it forward. That's not good. Brogan should have marked it. Treloar gets it. Now by hand. Giants can go well if they get a bounce. Canelio over the top to Scully. He's got a paddock. He just needs a bounce. Needs some support. Gets the support. Going into an open goal. The Giants kick it. And it's Sumner. Hoskin Elliott, I beg your pardon. And the Giants in this seesawing contest are back in front. Margin now 4 points. Great play. Well done, Dean Brogan. I think was the key to that because he didn't mark the ball but kept it forward and brought it down.
We saw that we had Treloar in front.
Treloar played on quickly.
And through the middle once again, that's how we've kicked our last few goals. So just showing that attacking game style.
And the good pace that they're running, not the just running past for the sake of it. It's actually hitting the line almost and running at pace so that you create the 2-on-1 and the overlap, which we saw there with Hoskin Elliott. So the Giants crowd has found some voice. Been a bit quiet for the last couple of minutes, but now they're starting to find voice. Hoskin Elliott gets his first for the afternoon. The Giants 13th, and we're back to 4 points.
Very important centre clearance here. Brogan in the middle against McAvoy. It spills the Saints' way, but Plowman gets the chance to clear it up, but he can't do it. Taylor Adams does well below his knees, hacks a kick forward. Brogan does well to bring it forward, and Scully's been busy. He kicks inside the forward 50, but Geary does well for the Saints to drop back and take a mark. He handballs off to Gwilt, who spears a kick in. Jones, it was too hot for him. Scully looks like he may have given away a free kick there. I don't mind that. Slow up the play. Give the Giants the chance to get some numbers back behind the ball. Smart play by Tom Scully. He's now played 50 games in the AFL. Expect a big year from Scully in 2013. Cameron one-on-one with Robinson. He does very well. Recovers well, but it then overruns it, and the Saints have the chance. An ugly kick out, but Blake does well, and Liam Sumner tackles well. Stephen has the chance here to follow up. He's one-on-one against Will Hoskin Elliott. Stephen rifles a handball out, a kick forward by the Saints, and Tom Lee takes the mark deep inside the forward pocket. He's a renowned goal kicker from WA, Tom Lee, picked up over the summer in the draft. He spent a year at Adelaide a few years ago, then went back to Claremont, a couple of premierships, and now he's here having a second crack at the AFL under Scott Wattis and the Saints. Important kick in this match.
Didn't he also have a little time with Pamela Anderson back in the day as well?
Different Tommy Lee.
Sorry.
Smart kick to the top of the goal square. Brogan's worked hard to get back there to help out his defenders. Gets a handball out. Whitfield to Toby Green, composed as always. Bug now in the back pocket. Looks at his options, kicks outside 50. Frost needs to fly, does well to make it contest. Armitage gets it for the Saints. Devon Smith's in and under. Does well, gets a handball out. Phil Davis does well, and that'll do, he says. Just go outside the boundary and we can reset.
Really good effort there. They didn't panic, the GWS defenders. They could have easily rushed behind, but they backed themselves. And even though it was a 3-on-1, the punch came from Frost, and that was smart play around.
Brought it to ground, and we had numbers there and caused an out of bounds and reset here for a clearance.
Okay, McAvoy this time. Green tries to get a handball away. McAvoy bending down, doing the work of a rover, the big fella. Unlucky not to get a free kick there, and the umpire says he will ball it up. Players will be looking forward to a nice, cool shower at the end of this one, I can guarantee you.
Nice baths.
And then, like me back in the day, little night out at Parramatta Leagues a little later on. Young cameraman here, Abba, used to be my wingman back in the day. Consequently, we hardly got any touches then either on or off the field. I digress somewhat as Bug goes off the right foot, finds Hampton. Hampton runs, takes a bounce, runs outside 50, backs himself against Nick Rewald and shows electric pace. 2 bounces, handball over the top. Keep going, son, I say. This time, finishes up in the hands of, looks like, the skipper. Now back to Whitfield, chips it over inside 50. The kick wasn't great, probably should have gone deep, and Milne can rebound for the Saints, and he goes long and finds an unmarked player in Lee. Lee spots up Armitage. Point of the square, but plenty of Giants defenders getting back to help out. One of them will take the mark. In fact, will get the free kick, and it'll be Bug, who's done terrifically well.
We've got numbers on this far side.
In the last 15 minutes.
And here they go, through Callum Ward, as Dom Tyson just predicted. They break on the close side. Cornelio back to his co-captain in Ward, who takes a bounce. He's gone to the far side again, and Whitfield's got some space. He's been finding space all afternoon, Lockie Whitfield.
Just got to keep running now, really run him into the ground.
That's right, yeah. We've got some good runners in our side with the likes of Sculls and Whitfield, and Hoskin Elliott, so hopefully we can use that to advantage.
Oh, that wasn't
Talk
good.
About Sculliott, goes to his feet. Could have got one for in the back, but the Giants have worked it out well. Green goes inside 50. Reed and Gwilt in the contest, but the Saints managed to clear it, and Sipos has some room inside his own defensive 50. Takes a bounce, then kicks long, and Hickey takes the mark. Hickey for the Saints. Goes back, looks at his options, turns inside, and he's found a teammate there in Brodie Murdoch. Murdoch looking left and right, not too sure where to go. Yet to play an AFL game, picked up over the summer. And he finds a teammate in Jack Stephen once again. Stephen turns onto his right boot, kicks down to Dennis Lane and Davis, who does well with a great fist.
Stephen did really well then. He dummied the handball, ran around, ran 50 metres, doubled back, and then received the kick. So he's certainly showing some fitness.
Great spread there, and he's still running strongly, so he's been very important for the Saints all day.
And a lot of players starting to obviously be fatigued the back half of this second half. That man Stephen probably should have got penalised, in fact will, and that might be 50 as well. It is against Jones. He puts his hands up claiming it wasn't his fault. He didn't know who he was throwing it back to. But the bottom line is we all know that if you don't know, you've got to stop. And
Cal might just take his time walking up this 50, I think.
Well, and it's now a stage, the Giants in front by 4. The difference between a win to the Giants and a win to the St Kilda side is phenomenal.
Especially after that, the NAB Cup, narrow losses to Carlton and Brisbane.
Correct.
Definitely, yeah. It'd be good to get one over the line here in the tense moments.
And, of course, it does put a bit of pressure on sides when they get beat by the Giants. You know that. I know that as a commentator. When things don't go the Giants' way, the team that does lose or gets beat is Dylan Shield off the left foot. While I'm chatting away, picks a handball off Moore and just decides to do it all himself and kicks one from just outside 50. A super goal in the old, but that's enough to put the Giants now ahead by 10 points. And what I was saying is the pressure will be now on St Kilda because, quote unquote, they lost to the Giants.
Yeah, in vice versa there, I guess you could say it's been a good effort by the Giants. And
terrific for the Giants,
yeah.
Absolutely terrific. And but you know that the scenario is out there from another perspective, from both sides of the coin. So great work from the Giants. They lead by 10 points, 21.5 minutes gone in this final term, and this could turn that 11,000 membership into 20,000.
Well, the Giants, Kevin Sheedy wants 20,000 members here in the west of Sydney. A healthy crowd at Blacktown International Sports Park to see a great contest between the Giants and Saints as Dylan Shield gets tied up and the umpire says, I'll have it, and then they'll go through the process again. Great crowd at Blacktown, vocal in this final quarter. A good amount of St Kilda supporters, but great to see a lot of orange in the crowd as well for the Giants. The Giants get the clearance, and Devon Smith is out there by himself, but Sam Frost does well to get to that contest as well. It's a hot footy in there. Frost does well to Treloar, to Shield. He's just kicked one. This time goes to the top of the square. Cameron does well to get a fist on that, bring it to the ground, but the Saints can rebound through Roberton.
Roberton kicks it outside 50, just bombs A lot of St Kilda players walking behind play. Giants have still got a bit of run. They've got their tails up. Hampton this time finds a handball. Goes to Treloar. Second go at it with Stephen there for St Kilda. Back to Treloar. Again, he keeps running. Chips over the top. Finds a teammate. Here's a chance for Shield. He's got players everywhere. Doesn't know where to go. Decides to go wide. Chance here both for the Giants. Plowman now with the ball. Kicks it over the shoulder. He's kicked a goal.
He wouldn't get forward to kick too many of them, would he, Dom?
He's enjoying that one, and rightly so. It was a great snap.
It's a great snap. Giants in front by 16 points. And you can just tell, I don't want to harp on the fact, when a team has got a bit their wind in the sails, they've got their tails up, they're running, and as I mentioned in commentary there, St Kilda, a lot of players walking behind play, not prepared to do the extra effort.
Yeah, I guess in the last 5 minutes, some really good running from the Giants, forward of the footy, and rewarded with some goals. So, yeah, continue that on and hopefully press through for a few more goals.
It's been a tough pre-season for the Saints. They played in the heat in Adelaide and lost to Port, and a win over Adelaide. They beat the Swans, they beat the Demons, and now they come up against a young firing Giants team in this practice match. And the Giants are up by 16 points. Jack Stephen once again with a centre clearance. He's had about 47 of them today. Kicks inside the forward 50. It's one-on-one. Milne, he loves this situation. Snaps on his left boot.
Stevie.
One bounce and a goal. The margin's back to 10 points thanks to Stevie Milne, the two-time All-Australian forward for the Saints. The margin, 10 points, as I just mentioned. 15-6-96 for the Giants. The Saints, 12-14-86. 24 minutes into this 30-minute fourth quarter.
It's like you just flicked the switch there.
Yeah, he's been pretty well held by the likes of Kennedy and Hampton. So, yeah, I guess you can't keep good players down all day. And he's popped up and kicked a pretty good snap on his non-preferred left foot.
But he is breathing heavily, as you would expect, because it is oppressive here. I reckon mid-30s this afternoon. And it's been a willing contest between both sides, and bragging rights at this stage with the GWS Giants. And a bit of media coverage tomorrow in the papers won't help the Giants. Will help the Giants. It probably won't help the Saints as we get underway again. The ball in dispute in the middle of the ground. This time for St Kilda, it's Murdoch. Doesn't know what to do with it. Finds himself under pressure. Gwilt with the right foot.
They're out here.
And now's a chance, although a couple of the Saints are hobbling. Armitage one of those. Montagna those not. Chips over the top.
Armitage.
This time finds Malera. Chips it over the top towards Sard. Good Mark Moore. Great Mark Moore as Armitage comes off with cramp. And the kick was towards Sard, but I don't reckon he'd be too happy with that. The coach of St Kilda, Scotty Waters, because it was poor kick from Malera, gave his forwards no hope whatsoever, and the one duke up from Tim Moore was enough to bring it home. Scully in the middle of the ground, uncontested. They're doing the team thing now. The Giants have obviously had the call on the time. 3.5 minutes left in this game. A couple of nervous people in the Giants management team in and around the commentary box at the moment. They'd be happy with a win to start the season, that's for sure. And at the end of today, this will be part of the season, I can bet you, as the ball is pushed over the boundary line by Jack Stephen with a bit of help from Plowman, and we'll have another boundary throw in.
Brogan gets a tap down. Taylor Adams is there, as is Toby Green, always on the bottom of the pack. The Saints fans ask for a free kick, but they won't get it, and the umpire will say, I'll have it. And with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock for this match, the Giants hold a 10-point lead. This is the final hit out for both teams before round one. The Saints taking on the Suns, and the Giants taking on the Swans. A big hit there.
Callum Ward.
Wow, Callum Ward absolutely steamrolled an opponent, but it flicks out for the Saints. They get a handball forward. Jack Stevens runs onto it. Callum Ward tackles hard as he has all day. Devon Smith gets tripped, and he gets a free kick for being in the back. Now, this will play into the hands of the Giants. We don't want to see any melees, but they're playing flat 30-minute quarters, so all this downtime will help the Giants with a 10-point lead.
It's 40 degrees. No need to waste energy on any of this stuff. No one's going to get suspended. It came about through a beautiful hit from Callum Ward on Jack Stephen. All legal, don't get me wrong. Stephen bounced up, got the ball again, and Ward tackled him again, and Stephen said, I've had enough of you, go away. Scully now.
Dom, what would the advice be from the runner going out to the Giants players at this stage of the match?
I think, don't do anything silly. They're on top of the scoreboard and on top of momentum, so don't give any silly free kicks away.
The roar you heard was off a McAvoy kick, which went out of bounds on the full in front of the St Kilda interchange. And it may only be a practice match, but try telling that to the local and loyal fans that have turned out here. Green, it's probably been the Giants' best for mine.
Him and Treloar.
Yeah, great games. Kicks it long, inside 50, anyone's guess. Nobody grabs it. Del Santo at the foot of the pack. This time it's right for St Kilda, but didn't know how to get rid of it once he found a gap. Scully got crunched, ridden into the ground, but the umpire says fair and we'll have a ball up.
I think he looked up and saw Phil Davis just patrolling the back line there as a loose man and had nothing to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised whether there was more than one loose man going there into the last minute and a half. Scully now off the right foot, kicks it inside 50. Again, anyone's guess. Robertson for the Saints missed it. Chance, umpire says holding the ball. And is it Liam Sumner? I thought it might have been Callan Ward again, but it's Liam Sumner who will have a shot directly in front, 25 metres out, to ice this game on a day where ice is a premium here at Blacktown. The Giants lead by 10, a minute left on the clock by the time he has this goal, and I think the Giants are home, son.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. If he definitely puts this one through, I'd like to call it home.
This is what he's in the team for, isn't it? That forward line pressure.
Definitely, yeah, along with Dev, as I said earlier, and hopefully he gets reward for effort for a good tackle, and
he does
put it through.
I'd also like to point out that with a minute left on the clock and you're in front by 10 and you lose, you're in all sorts anyway, so that does ice it. It's now 16 points the margin, and it's been a terrific contest here at Blacktown. GWS 16-6. 102, St Kilda 12-14, 86. Sumner gets his first for the afternoon, and the goals have been shared around with Cameron 3, Green 2, Meister, the only multiple goal scorer for the Saints. And the margin is 16 points, and we've got under a minute to go in this match here at Blacktown.
Dean Brogan in the middle against Ben McAvoy. Those big men have tussled hard all day. The Saints get the clearance through Del Santo. It goes inside the forward 50. They're not giving up hope yet. Meister attacks the ball hard, but Davis gets a handball out to Green, who heads towards the boundary for the Giants and finds the co-captain Callum Ward, who knows what the clock says, and that's 29 minutes and 48 seconds. And Ward just looks at his options and finds a teammate in Kennedy in short there. A tremendous game of football at Blacktown International Sports Park this afternoon, and Kennedy kicks long along the line. And that's it. The Giants have won at Blacktown. GWS 16 goals, 6, 102. St Kilda 12-14, 86.
Terrific performance from the Giants as we get a bit of Giants team song. Fabulous performance, really. 16 points the margin. The Giants 16-6, 102 to 12-14, 86.
There you go, Giants fans. You can hear the song in the background, and the crowd, a great crowd at Blacktown International Sports Park, cheering along to that. Dom, just quickly, your best players today. Who were the highlights for you?
Obviously, Jeremy set the scene earlier with his 3 goals in the first quarter, but I think, second half, Toby Green and Callum Ward along with Treloar. And Stephen from the Saints.
From the St Kilda point of view, I thought Stephen was good. Farron Ray was very, very good. Armitage cramped up late, but he was strong. So too the normal guys, Montagna, Del Santo, Lenny Hayes, those sorts of guys. Was really impressed with a lot of the running play from the Giants. Felt that when they got a sniff, and if they can compete for that first half, then there's the potential to go on with it. It is that crucial first half. You can't get teams 5 and 6 goals ahead of you because it's too hard to chase down in this competition.
Definitely, yeah. It's sort of crucial to have that good start because we've sort of been trailing off in quarters with fatigue. So today we'll get a lot of confidence out of the fact we ran out every quarter, and particularly that last quarter on a hot day.
It's just a practice game. We all know that. Let's not get too carried away. And St Kilda fans, don't worry because, you know, it counts for nothing and you're still equal on top of the ladder. Nick Rewalt with a bit of ice on the knee, probably the major concern at this stage, probably just jarring up. But from the Giants' perspective, it's more than a practice game. It's got beat by 50 or 60 points last week, win this game by nearly 20 points. All of these people are coming back for game 1. There's going to be a lot of positive publicity over the next few weeks particularly in Sydney ahead of the Battle of the Bridge, and you've got to run with it.
Yeah, to establish a club, I guess it's pretty crucial for us to play well and nab cup and try and create a little bit of hype for round one. And
got to.
And now it's probably a little bit substantial. We've shown some good form in the pre-season, so hopefully we can carry that through.
And don't get me wrong, the Sydney Swans, who were okay last week against the Suns, they were pretty average against St Kilda a couple of weeks earlier, so you correlate that a little bit. But the Swans are a month behind everybody else. They're a month behind you in fitness, so there are people now who are going to say, well, hang on, if the Swans aren't ready to go and firing, and I know Adam Goods during the week said that they weren't as good as they could be, and they're a long, long way from being where they should be. This might be one of those games that just might creep up on the Sydney Swans.
Yeah, I guess you never write off a side that's just come off a flag, but as you said before, somewhat underdone with limited pre-season. And yeah, we've shown a little bit of form now, so yeah, it's been great, and hopefully we get a good crowd out to ANZ round one.
I'll be there.
Russell Barwick.
Hey, thanks for that. That was good fun.
Russell Barwick, thanks for your time on Giants TV today. Fantastic.
Don't forget, my only payment for today, of course, ESPN, pardon the interruption, Tuesday nights at 8:30. What have we got on this week? We've got Champions League. We've got... Mate, I'm working a midnight till dawn shift tonight with the Six Nations rugby.
There you go. Russell Barwick, your man from ESPN, helping us out on Giants TV today. Dom Tyson, thanks for your time on Giants TV. As you just mentioned, round one, the Battle of the Bridge. The Sydney Swans and the GWS Giants going head-to-head at ANZ Stadium for that all-important clash. Tickets available now from Ticketek, so waste no time and get along and buy your tickets for that match. On top of that, a Giants membership, easy to be done. Go to gwsgiants.com.au and you can buy one from there. There's packages to suit everyone, whether you're a global Giants member, a local Western Sydney member, a Canberra member, whatever you want to do, we've got a membership for you as the Giants continue to build. So that wraps up a tremendous day at Blacktown International Sports Park. Let's just quickly thank Skoda, our major sponsor, Lifebroker, our other major sponsor, and of course Blacktown, the Council of Blacktown here, a fantastic arena for today's game, Blacktown International Sports Park. So thank you to all them as the Giants run out winners 16-6, 102 to St Kilda, 12-14, 86. We'll see you for round one at ANZ Stadium for the Battle of the Bridge on March 30.
Big sound from the west of the town. It's the sound of the mighty Giants. Feel the ground is shaking. The other teams are quaking in their boots before their Giants. Take the longest strides and the highest leap. The stronger than the best. We're the greater Western Sydney Giants. We're the biggest and the best. And we will never surrender. We'll fight until the end. We're greater than the rest.
So a good win out of the GWS Giants here in the final hit out before the proper season starts. I'd like to invite everyone to join us for the Battle of the Bridge, which will be at ANZ Stadium on Saturday the 30th of March. Make sure you get your tickets for that game. There'll be a fantastic game between the GWS Giants and the Sydney Swans out there. The Battle of the Bridge, Saturday 30th of March at ANZ Stadium.